Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blue Thunder Pod WWE edition. I'm your host, Billy Sullivan. With me, as always, my mom's favorite podcast host and looking very oozy today, Dave Volinovich.
Do you think that they said oozy and what's the other thing they say a lot?
Say what-ish?
No. Oos. They call everybody
oos. Everything's oos. I have a question about oos later.
Yeah. Do you think that they said that to the point where it was embedded in everybody's ears all the time, and then everybody, because like a lot of guys on Raw were saying "oos" and stuff,
yeah,
and yes. Like not of the Samoan descent, and I'm like, man, how much are they saying "oos" backstage?
They say it nonstop. Because, well, my question, I guess it's not a big like. I'm not trying to do a big reveal or something. My question about
I think you are.
Jey Uso was doing a promo later in the show in the Raw we're going to talk about today.
Yeah,
he was talking to the crowd and he was saying "oos" to them,
yeah,
like in the singular. Like, I'll tell you what, "oos," but talking to 20,000 people. Yeah. So like, it's a catch-all, and I think they say it nonstop. So I think other people are doing it now just because they hear it. Because I have a feeling that Jey Uso talks quite a bit.
Yeah,
even when he's not on camera.
It's like a Samoan Like,
yeah, but it's just them though, because it's just
apparently it's the whole goddamn locker room.
Well, I mean, but it wasn't like a Samoan cultural thing; it was an Uso cultural thing that became a WWE cultural thing because they say it so goddamn much.
It's there. I just noticed. I'm like, oh, it's bleeding into other promos.
It's impossible. It's like when I talked about my wife saying phrases that I use after being around me for so long, for so many years. It just, you can't fight that. You're going to start talking like the people you're around that much. So I think everybody's just like...
It's osmosis. SmackDown was on... It was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was at the PPG Paints Arena.
We should mention at the top of the show, though, Dave, that we are, after we do our reviews for SmackDown and Raw this week, Dave and I are going to do a mock draft.
Yes, we are.
The upcoming Raw, SmackDown roster draft this week, and today was actually the NFL draft. So in keeping with the times, we're going to do a mock draft. I will take the role of one, Dave the other, SmackDown, Raw, and we will draft from their pool of available talent.
That's right. We will flip a coin to see who is the Aldous to Mike Pierce.
I should just be Aldous because I want to do an accent, obviously.
Oh, then yeah, I'll be. I'm bald, so it's an audio podcast.
No, I'm bald though in actuality. So I have two. I have the British accent, Desire.
You can't be both GMs though.
I'm just gonna do it, guys. I'm just gonna do a draft. I'll drop that separately though for just the freaks out there.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun to do every available North American wrestler in a draft. Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be
now I have a bunch of stupid questions. My brain, I was like, so is this like Shibata, and because they're contracted in North America, but they're not North American, does that like?
I think the rule would be if they're on North American TV in any capacity, that makes them eligible for the draft.
Okay.
Free TV / cable TV.
Cable,
not pay-per-views. So we're gonna get to the draft details later. So we'll get to SmackDown in a second as well. I know I just kind of injected that in there. Felt like the comedy timing was correct, but not comedically. I did want to talk about Cameron Grimes up top because they did him dirty.
They did.
I did not care for it. He did an interview where he basically said, I have the entire quote here. It's very long. I don't want to read it. But in so many words, he was told that he had a job for life. And then several days later, he lost his job.
Yeah, it was very Vincey. It was a Vincey feeling thing. I wouldn't even want to talk about this like openly, except that he talked about it like immediately and was very open about it. So
it was just because the guy had money all over him. He said he was constantly pitching ideas to the back, and they're like, "Oh, just wait until the draft." And then the draft happened last year.
Yeah,
and then he came up, and it's like, "Oh, we're just waiting for something for you." And the more you hear these interviews. Like, when guys get released, I used to think, oh, they're just not doing nothing with them. But then the more interviews I hear, these guys are pitching constantly.
Yeah.
And you would think that's a good thing, but I don't think...
You want creative minds or people that are enthusiastic. Like,
but I just can't
imagine. Lots of TV to fill. Like,
You're not wrong. But, like, in what world is Cameron Grimes expendable over, and then you could think of three guys off the top of your head that are getting weekly television time?
And also, like... Do I like to Raw last week? Do we need 3 replays of Rhea Ripley's show opening promo, or can we get 4 more people on the show?
Yeah.
They have all the money in the world.
Yeah.
It's not really hurting their bottom line. I know they're publicly traded and they have to do stuff to like make the needle move on that. And you know, firing people always makes the needle move. But like, come on, these guys, like Cameron Grimes obviously has like a future. He's got potential. He
had a future in their own company.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job with him early on, at least.
Yeah. It's a bummer, man.
Like, yeah, it stinks.
It's a bummer.
You never like cuts. I'm sure he'll land on his feet. He's a talented dude, and now they're. I mean, I know as much as I joke about TNA not being a real viable third, but they do. They're a TV company, and it's a solid place for somebody to land. So if it's got to be there, even that'd be a good thing. And like they could use a guy like him for sure. Anybody could.
Yes. Also, too, if you look at like Naomi went to TNA and now she's back in the Fed. So yeah, I think it's a wildly viable option. It doesn't have as much exposure, but they got a pretty stacked roster in TNA.
Yeah, I mean everybody has a stacked roster these days.
Yeah,
but
that's
the way of the world. But like,
there are no bad companies anymore.
The TNA just put on the pay-per-view 2 ago. I didn't watch the last one, but the one that Ospreay was on or whatever was an incredible card, like top to bottom.
Yeah,
and some of it was like borrowed talent and stuff, but a lot of it was in-house. They got, I mean, Dolph's there now. Yeah, rocking it out. So
Nick Nemeth.
Yeah,
Nicholas Nemeth. But yeah, I just wanted to. I don't know. That one bothered me, so I needed to address it.
Positive feelings for towards Vic Grimes. Hopefully he lands on his. What's his real name? Do we?
Vic Grimes? No. Cameron Grimes?
Cameron. I said Vic Grimes. Vic Grimes is the guy that New Jack tried to kill.
And then Frank Grimes is the antagonist in the best Simpsons episode ever made.
Yes, he is.
Cameron Grimes. What's his real name? I know he's like the Carolina Madman. Trevor Lee Cattle.
Yeah,
Trevor Lee, that's it.
I was Trevor Lee from.
Dude, I saw him at Bourbon Street.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a bunch.
I go back to the Evolve, the indie that WWE bought and turned into one of their developmental areas. I saw him doing some stuff there that I thought was great, and then his NXT stuff was great. And, but he'll land on his feet.
Yeah. SmackDown was airing, as I mentioned, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the PPG Paints Arena.
That's a lot of alliteration.
Yeah, right. They were a lot of numbers here. So they said it was sold out. I checked the capacity. It's 19,758. Later in the show, Triple H says we're at 15,000 strong, and then they announced the sellout at 14,994.
Yeah.
They are really harping on this sellout shit, but just like we can Google the capacity.
I people do care, so I shouldn't, but I don't give a shit. Like if all I care about is if it sounds good, looks good, and like 14,000 people, sounds good.
But that has a lot of cachet with a lot of people.
They just love saying it.
They just, but like notice like I don't even bring it up for AEW anymore because that man simply doesn't care about ratings because he has enough money to fund that company until he's dead and never broke. So praise Jesus. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about ratings. There could be 13 people there, and he will put on a Will Ospreay,
which is why I get to watch like a 10-week.
It's really unprecedented,
subtly told story.
Days of Our Lives with tights, but they. I was thinking about that too. That's an unprecedented business model where you don't care. You don't care if you're successful.
That's why I'm so thankful for it, because the thing I like is never going to be that popular. So to have like a billionaire's son happen to like the same shit that I do is wonderful.
But it's never happened with like BattleBots or something like where
BattleBots does very well, by the way.
Yeah, BattleBots are fun. It's been around forever. But like I don't know, a women's professional baseball league or something like that. Like no billionaire's ever been like, I'm putting this on forever just because I love this sport.
Yeah, because there's not a ton of like billionaires' sons that are super nerds for any particular thing.
It's just I can't think of another example of it. But but they're obsessed with the details. Apparently, it's sold out. I guess
I can do it again. I don't need to hear Triple H's name or see his face.
I kind of like him
for like I don't know, a year.
I kind of like.
I don't. I get it. You guys are proud of your guy or whatever. Did you know it's starting to feel a little like megalomaniacal?
Did you know it was the Triple H era?
They may have mentioned that once or twice.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. The Paul Levesque era.
Triple H, Levesque. Do you ever look at the subtitles that I put up for our shows?
Oh yeah, I'm usually the one that's admitting fault of
saying some kind of nonsense. Yeah, or but for that Raw where they became the sycophantic Paul Levesque worship at Raw, the subtitle was the triple Paul Levesque H era. Yeah.
It's a little
Pretty
wordy.
proud of that one.
Yeah, it's good. They probably don't have that trademarked. We should get on that in that order. Well, the first match on SmackDown in the Paul Levesque era on this particular night was a number one contenders match for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles versus LA Knight to see who's going to face Cody Rhodes at Backlash in France.
As I alluded to in several texts throughout this week, Undisputed, which is the goddamn dumbest thing ever. Undisputed specifically means there are no other titles in this weight class.
Yeah.
That is why this one is the Undisputed title. The reason that we started even hearing the word Undisputed in our lifetimes was because in boxing, there was a bunch of different heavyweight titles that had been broken up over the years. It was like WBO, IBF, bunch of different titles. Right. And then Tyson beat everybody, unified them all, and became then, for the first time, the Undisputed. And people started referring to him as the Undisputed Heavyweight Champion because he had all the titles. There are very much two heavyweight titles. Did
you ever hear the George Carlin bit about that? Where he's talking about goofy phrases we have in English.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, undisputed champion. Well, if it's undisputed, what's all the fighting about?
Yeah, what's the fight about? That's good. But, like, I'm pretty sure Damian Priest disputes Cody Rhodes' claim that he's the only heavyweight champ.
The reason that they did that is because they unified the titles back when they brought back Big Gold.
Then they made a new title.
No, but
so it becomes disputed then.
They merged the two titles together, and that belt is now undisputedly the only world championship.
Except for the one that Damian Priest has.
Well, correct. Yeah. Oh no. In 2024, yes, it doesn't make.
I mean, really, the truth is the reason they say it is because they think it sounds cool to say undisputed, which it does.
Yeah.
But the reason it sounds cool is because that means you're the top, only one. I'm the only guy.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with having two world titles. You can't say undisputed.
Prior to them giving Seth Rollins the consolation prize title, it was technically.
It was for a while undisputed.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No, not for the past year or so. But
they call it the undisputed tag titles too. I'm like,
yep.
No, our truth has one.
That is our false. There is another title. But anyway, AJ Styles and LA Knight are fighting for contention for the undisputed WWE Championship. They go 11 minutes and 5 seconds. Dude, you just did it now. Every time, I don't know if they're piping this in. I don't know if it's authentic from the crowd. Every time he hits some kind of offense, the crowd goes, yeah. That has
super over.
That has to be like, I'm going to end up in a padded room level of like Clockwork Orange level torture where you can't do anything without the crowd screaming back at you. Yeah. And he's hijacking which I'm fine with.
Yeah. Now I feel like I'm the crowd and you're LA Knight. Everything you say, I'm like, yeah.
I just wrote it super annoying, and AJ Styles is just goddamn spectacular.
Yeah, he is. Still too swole, but I'll give him a break.
Yeah, it's just different. It's just different. I have no notes for the match except because I don't really love LA Knight matches. But AJ Styles
loves LA Knight match. LA Knight doesn't love LA Knight matches.
But I love AJ Styles. Like when AJ Styles gets to like cook and go into offensive
he's
mode.
AJ Styles.
He's fucking perfect.
He's like in the conversation for greatest wrestler of all time.
I can't. It's so like off-putting.
There's a reason Will Ospreay uses like 3 of his moves.
Yeah,
because he's like looks up to him.
Yeah. But no, AJ's so goddamn good. The ending of the match. LA Knight went for the BFT. AJ Styles.
The big fucking giant.
The big fucking giant. AJ Styles rolls under the bottom rope to escape it. And AJ stands up, drops LA Knight's neck on the ring rope, pokes him in the eye, forearms him, phenomenal forearms him, gets the W. So it's Cody and AJ at Backlash. That's going to be very good.
As predicted. It'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Very fun match.
They did something cool later in the show with Cody, but we're not there yet. But yeah, you have anything else on this match?
No, I mean, it's like what we called, and it's a LA Knight match.
Yep. They recapped last week what happened with Solo, Paul Heyman, Jimmy Uso, and Tama Tonga, which we talked about at our last episode. You can go take a peek at that if you want. Basically, Solo is filling the power vacuum left by Roman Reigns, and he wants to be the leader.
I'm absolutely sold on Tama Tonga after this episode.
100%.
But now I think Solo looks like soft because he's got to be in there next to Tama.
Yeah, and someone put up a stat. I don't think I checked this He's like 0-40 in his last 40 matches. Solo Sikoa.
Really?
Like if you count house shows and shit. Like
he murdered. Oh, so he's like
he
fought
never
her on house shows.
Yeah. He's but like
He murdered Cena. It was like the only singles thing I could think of him even doing.
And that was in SummerSlam?
It was like, it was SummerSlam.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
But poor guy. But anyway, most qualified to be new Roman Reigns by a country mile. They show Solo and Paul Heyman in the parking lot. Solo shows up in a very nice suit, and he's got a rock chain on. Paul Heyman says, nice threads. Tama Tonga just appears behind Paul Heyman like a goddamn creep. Solo says, meet the newest member of the bloodline, my MFT. What's that mean? What does MFT mean?
Motherfucking Tonga?
It could be. They don't say it. They say MFT a lot in this episode. Solo then asks if Kevin Owens is here. Heyman presumes he is since the show already started. So then Heyman walks Solo and Tama Tonga up the ramp, and he never turns his back on him. This is a little subtle shit that Heyman's like a master at. Like he will not take his eyes off of Solo because he doesn't want to get crushed. Right?
I love the Heyman's reactions to everything Solo does here. And Tama Tonga is, I watched him in Japan. I watched his stuff. He's more intimidating in the 2 weeks in WWE than he was at any point in anything I saw in the last decade of his work in AJPW.
They keep peppering him too. He's the son of Haku, and they're like, Haku, universally known as one of the toughest men, if not the toughest man ever.
Every time they say that, I'm like, I hope Haku didn't beat that poor boy when he was a child.
So they're doing good stuff here. They're doing subtle stuff, which I really like. In the ring, Nick Aldis standing there. He introduces Paul, Triple H, Levesque.
Yeah. Yay.
Triple H is hyping the bright future and acknowledging and respecting the history that made that future. And then he brings out A-Town Down Under, the current, what are we calling him now? WWE?
Undisputed.
Undisputed Tag Team Champion. So Triple H actually says they are now, or maybe Nick Aldis, one of them said, they are now to be known as the WWE Tag Team Champions. Yeah. So that universal shit apparently doesn't apply to this title.
When they posted it on Twitter, though, they did say undisputed.
Son of a bitch. Editing, fellas, editing. They showed the new tag titles, and they look fucking awesome.
Love them.
They are throwbacks to the ones Demolition held. Which,
almost perfect. I would throw a little bit of color in just a small amount.
Yeah.
A little bit of blue in the middle, or blue and red or something, because they're all. It's like the IC
title.
And it reminded me a lot of the belt that we talked about liking quite a bit, the Eddie Guerrero World Title.
Yes,
that from that era. The World Championship looked very much like these tag titles.
Yeah.
It must be different people designing the belts for the different shows, because I pretty much universally like or think that every belt that they've introduced on SmackDown has been at least an improvement, and some of which, like these, I really just like.
Yeah.
And everything that they do on Raw, I think looks like terrible toys, like old, left in the sandbox all summer toys. Like,
that got me. Weren't the American Chopper guys doing belts for a while?
They were, yes.
Yeah. So there you go. I just wrote these new belts look fucking great.
Yeah,
Triple H goes to handshake Grayson Waller, and Grayson Waller kind of avoids it and then shakes Austin Theory's hand instead. Nick Aldis gets right in his face, says if you disrespect Triple H like that again, these titles will be gone. And then he announces a fatal four-way for the #1 contendership for said tag team titles, which is up next. So that was a segment. It was basically a not as fun version of the one they did on Monday Night Raw, because R-Truth was not in this one.
Could have just done it with Nick Aldis. I didn't need Paul Levesque's big head out there again.
How else are you going to know that the future is bright without Triple H being there?
Getting a Dana White vibe from him these days.
That's very good. The #1 contenders tag team match to see who's going to fight A-Town Down Under included the Street Pop. My whole mouth fell out there.
The Poppets would be a good,
the Merry Street Poppets. The Street Profits, New Catch Republic, Legado del Fantasma, represented by Angel and Umberto, and AOP. This went 17 minutes and 14 seconds. It did not start yet, though, because they went to break, and when they came back, they were backstage with Kayla Braxton and Naomi.
Why did they do this?
I don't know.
I hate it so much.
Like, I was expecting, I had to rewind and be
fired
like, did I miss a whole match?
Because that was a match. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good match.
Yeah.
Now we're at commercial, and then you come back and you're like, did I miss the match? Why are we talking to Kayla Braxton right now?
I don't know, but she's talking to Naomi, saying she earned number one contention last week.
Maybe Triple H should keep his ass in the back so we can fucking look at the way that they lay these shows out a little better.
Yeah. Kind of a couple misses all around in wrestling this week with the
production
layouts.
misses for everybody.
For sure. She's saying, Kayla Braxton saying to Naomi, you entered number one contention match last week, putting you in line to fight Bayley. You think this can interfere with your friendship? Naomi says no. That's basically it. Yeah. And they're really hyping that it's been 2 years since Naomi's last singles championship match on SmackDown. Wasn't she gone from the company for a considerable amount of time?
Like 9 months or something.
That's like me saying, like, it's been about 25 years since you played for the Cleveland Indians. Like, yeah, when I was fucking 8, I did. I wouldn't say that, though. And then next week, it's Naomi versus Bayley for the SmackDown... Oh, Jesus. Women's Universal.
Sure, it's Undisputed if it's on SmackDown.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Undisputed. I get my words mixed up. In case you forgot, we have a number one contenders tag team title match that they cut right back to.
You better call. I thought you were going to do the. In case you forgot, you better call somebody. Oh. He does sit in his fat ass next to Triple H and Gorilla for all these shows.
Sure.
He's such a jerk off. I can't believe he's Triple H's right hand man.
Well, nothing says super professional like a back of your head tattoo and dreadlocks. I got a hot take. Karrion Kross, notice this when he was walking to the ring. He's got real pre-2011 CM Punk vibes.
Yeah, I can see it.
He really does.
He doesn't have the in-ring prowess nor the ability to talk, but his vibes, for sure.
I'm like, man, I want to see more of him.
Every time he's doing anything but wrestling, I'm like, oh man, this guy's captivating.
There's something here.
Bell does have to ring though, Dave.
I agree. Yeah, but I mean, this company, that's not a
it's not that big a deal. Like Jey Uso, enjoyed him very much.
Jimmy
this week.
Uso, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So a couple cool. I mean, they beat the shit out. This was a really fun match.
Yeah, it was.
This was a sprint tag team match. I will be okay if the Tower of Doom goes away completely. Where you sit on guys on the top rope, and then one guy goes to superplex, and another guy goes to powerbomb that guy, and then one guy's pushing it. It doesn't look good though.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
It did once in TNA, and they do it 100 times.
And the payoff isn't great, and then the setup takes way too long to get to a thing that doesn't pay off great.
Similarly,
but I did like this match in general, though.
No. And this, I'm just nitpicking about, and this isn't even particular to this match.
Yeah,
Tower of Doom
that can disappear.
It can go away completely. And also, could we stop pooling each other outside to catch big spot dives outside the ring? I'm fucking tired of that too.
Yeah.
Because you just said it, it doesn't pay off. It doesn't. Everyone knows it's not the finish. So what are you doing it for?
It also you see it coming then a mile away. That's why I like Darby Allin's dive so much, because it's always just one person and you never see it coming, and it's like a surprise every time.
Cash Wheeler's got one of those too.
Cash Wheeler just becomes Darby Allin in big matches. We talked about it on the pay-per-view.
Said that last week.
He's incredible.
Darby Allin. That's funny.
But yeah, when everybody gets in the big group,
you're
like, okay, I see what's coming, and it's not that impressive. When you know it's coming, you're watching it. What is cool about a dive or tope, whatever you want to call it, is it's a surprise thing. Yeah. It's supposed to be a surprise tag. If everybody gets in a big group and waits for it,
hugging each other, helping
it's safer, but just don't do it then. No. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, just don't do it.
They were doing that too. They were helping each other, doing assisted offense on each other. I'm like, it's Fatal 4-Way, man. What are you doing? This is a title match. You should be trying to win.
It shouldn't be cooperative
or a contention. No, not at all. But I mean, credit where credit's due. The first big spot note I had in this match, Angel does a running soccer kick to Montez when he's sitting on the ropes, and
PK.
It sounded brutal.
Yeah,
brutal, and it looked brutal too.
It was great. I love the PK.
No, there's a penalty kick.
That's everybody. Well, he's on AEW television. They call it a PK, but that's what it stands for. It's Sermata's thing.
Big old soccer
penalty kick. Yeah.
What was Legado del Fantasma did a Doomsday drop kick on Tyler Bate. That looked awesome.
It was great.
And then my favorite wrestler on planet Earth, Angelo Dawkins, comes in and he pounces Umberto into space. He is still out there. He's orbiting Jupiter right now.
I love that pounce of his too.
He's why do I like him so much?
Because he's great.
He's
Why,
so
you-
good.
Yeah,
And
because
I think he figured his
you have
gear.
a good eye for talent.
I think he figured
really
his gear out.
good wrestler.
He looked.
Dave and I on the other episode, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, our AEW episode that will drop the same time as this one, we decided that our favorite wrestlers are Angela Dawkins for Dave and Willow Nightingale for myself, respectively.
I don't know. We're just seeing things differently.
Yeah.
And then super fun match. Like, I'm not gonna list off all the spots. I would go back and watch this one again because it was a sprint and everyone's trying to get as much in as they can.
I did watch some of this match.
It was a long sprint.
I went right back and watched like bits and pieces of it at least, and like a second viewing. So yeah, no, it was a great, really good match.
A ton of fun. The finish saw the Street Profits do a. They're calling it the Revelation. It is a sky high / neck breaker. They did it on Angel Garza for
I feel
the
like
W.
there's a big uptick in usage in the last month of the Sky High. I love D'Lo. His moveset was like when I used to do Creator Wrestler. It
was all D'Lo Brown.
I would do a bunch of D'Lo Brown stuff, and then Al Snow's Snowplow was my finish for like every guy that I created.
Oh man, he can come back. I'm good with D'Lo Brown. Put him in the Pride.
Yeah, sure.
I'm fine with that. Get rid of
just don't group everybody by race anymore. We could do that too.
It's wrestling. We don't have any other choices. But yeah, so it's going to be Street Profits versus A-Town Down Under, presumably at Backlash.
Yeah,
right.
maybe they can squeeze a good match out of A-Town Down Under because they're pretty talented.
Yeah. We had a recap of Rhea Ripley relinquishing the title this past Monday. We saw that 80 times over the next two shows, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. Backstage, was it Byron Saxton? He's back?
That's what my reaction too. I'm like, did I have a stroke? Or was he gone for 30 years? And now he's here. Is like The Rock going to come make fun of him? Or like the coach coming back too? Like, what's going on here?
I didn't want to sound stupid.
They fired him wasn't he on commentary?
He was for a long time,
before this group, right? He was on commentary. It was before they did the last change up. Like,
I'm not, dude. I can't keep up. They changed so many times.
When Booker T went to NXT and stuff, like I think Byron Saxton was on one of the shows. It's hard to keep track.
It sounds correct what you're saying. Yeah, Byron Saxton is interviewing Bayley, asking her where her head's at before her match against Naomi tonight. Bayley says, since she's the only women's champion in WWE right now, makes her appreciate the title a little bit more since Rhea Ripley dropped, but apparently
fuck Kyrie Sane.
Damage control does. She said things are bound to change with the draft coming up, and is excited she is to face Naomi. The one thing won't change is her losing. I had a question about this. So, if the draft, let's say the draft is Friday, and you have a title match the following Monday, and you get drafted away from that match, do you get to keep your title shot?
You're asking deeper questions than I think the Fed wants you to ask, Dave. The real answer is we're not going to book somebody who we are about to book to be drafted to be in a title match.
They've done dumb stuff like that before.
Hey, Vince fucking made JR learn about his big giant life change on air.
Dude, did you read his book? Under the Black Hat?
Yes.
Like, he goes into depth about
because
that.
it's a monstrous thing to do to somebody. It was his second in command at the time,
it was
too.
Wildly humiliating.
Shit. I have to get through one of these without talking about that guy.
We should do a Vince jar, like a swear jar, but we have to put a quarter in every time we bring up Vince. Backstage again, we have Solo, Sikoa, and Paul Heyman. Heyman's apologizing to Solo for being unable to find Kevin Owens, who they're searching for. Solo walks off ahead of Heyman, and he goes into the gorilla position. Heyman says he's not trying to piss off Solo, but he's making decisions that aren't his to be made yet. One day, yes, but not now. These are decisions that can only be made by one man. Solo's asks if he's done yet. Heyman asks if Solo's MFT is coming with. Again, this MFT shit keeps popping up. Solo smirks, and he just shows him his thumb. Like, look, I got a thumb.
Illegally taped up thumb.
Yeah. Super overly taped up. And then they both walk to the ring after Solo's music hits.
Umaga have any kids?
Umaga, I think so.
I want him to be his bloodline to be a part of the bloodline.
Umaga children. Zilla Fatu.
They just signed Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. So probably. So he's probably going to come in. Oh, Umaga's son now training under WWE legend following recent incarceration. So who is he training under? Let me see. For Booker T.
All right.
I think so.
Booker T. How does he find the time?
I think it's
He's commentating for NXT and doing just nonstop podcasts.
Yeah, that's cool. In the ring, we have Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman after they come back from commercial. There's a large "We Want Roman" chant, and Paul Heyman looks like he's choked up and he's about to reply. Yeah. Solo grabs the mic out of his hand. Solo tries talking, and now Solo is getting the Dominic Mysterio treatment.
Yeah,
where he is getting...
Roman's going to be so hot when he comes back.
They're just they're doing... This is the Lion King, man.
Yeah,
they're like salting the earth for the eventual uprising of the hero. And he can't talk. Every time he tries to talk, the crowd's booing him like crazy. But he eventually gets it out. Solo says, "Last week I had to lose a brother in order to find me a new one. My MFT, Tamatonga."
Motherfucking Tama. Or Tonga.
Tonga. They go to the entrance ramp and they show Kevin Owens is just ejected onto the rampway. 2 shows where we've seen ejections.
Yeah.
And he's bleeding pretty bad from the head.
It's so, like...
When
was the last time? I know I kind of asked this, but it was a different thing for Cody's.
Yeah.
When's the last time somebody was allowed to blade on regular WWE programming, like in the ring?
He wasn't even in the ring.
But I mean, they're having a match, and he's bladed.
Long enough where I can't think of anything.
It's like, it's that Eddie Guerrero era, right? I mean, I can't think of anybody in the modern era. I know, like. They've had the hard way, like
Lesnar,
Orton had Lesnar do it the hard way, and that was on a pay-per-view.
You're talking about like on regular TV,
like blading on TV, yeah.
Great question. I don't know.
I mean, Cody do it, but that was in a controlled backstage type of environment too. So,
well, if you know the answer, phones are open.
I know Roman used a blood capsule like 10 years ago or something.
Terrible. So Kevin Owens is bleeding. Tamatonga throws him further up the rampway. And then the refs start like helping Kevin Owens up. Tamatonga goes into the ring. He puts up his finger, the bloodline pose. Then Solo does it, and then Heyman like begrudgingly does it. Heyman looks like he's had a Stockholm syndrome.
He looks like he's just constantly nauseated.
Yeah. Kevin Owens rushes back to the ring, attacks Tamatonga, throws Solo in. Solo throws KO into the steps, and then they fight into the. Oh wait. Solo throws into steps. I don't know who threw who into the steps. Somebody. I'm missing it now.
KO got some offense here.
Yeah. They fight into the ring. Solo spikes KO. Tamatonga continues the beating. He attacks security and then gets a chair. Nick Aldis comes out and he warns both of them to stop. And Solo throws the chair out of the ring and then they leave. So
it was somehow those same security guards from AEW.
Yeah, again,
2 big monsters everywhere.
What is with this company, this industry where you're allowed to beat up the help and not get a fine or anything like that? It's weird. Again, 3rd segment in the row. There's a lot of segments back to back.
They pack stuff in on SmackDown, man. Like
4. So they go to the parking lot. Nick Aldis and Paul Heyman are there. Nick Aldis asks Paul Heyman if he was aware that Tamatonga's rental car has been smashed into Kevin Owens and his 2 cars just like T-boned.
I like Heyman's reaction.
This was not authorized. Nick Aldis says, on my show, we settle in the ring. I will not tolerate this kind of savage behavior and make sure that the bloodline understands. If you don't, the consequences are equally savage. And then he goes, losing isn't the only thing that has consequences. Yeah. Nice continuity.
Yeah, and I like that Nick Aldis is he's their authority figure, but you can't like intimidate him because he's a big giant, like in his prime wrestler.
Right.
So it's confusing to me why he's the GM at all, but but he's like, you can't, every authority figure ever, except for Triple H.
Right.
You were able to like kind of bully as a wrestler, and all this you just can't because he's like, what are you gonna do? Like he could have a match with you right now. Like, he's an impressive kind of dude.
I think it was here too. I didn't make the note of it, but I think he made the mention at some point around here that with the draft coming up, he might have mentioned it with A-Town Down Under, but like he's like, there's gonna be a lot of executive eyeballs like on the show. So he's like, it's like when you're showing your house, you're like, we need this place to be spick and span.
Yeah.
Because we have, business to conduct.
I like his character as a boss. He feels like a boss. Usually it's like either evil or a pushover.
Yeah.
And this dude just feels like a boss who like has the backing of the company behind him and he knows it. So he can confidently tell people what they got to do.
Yeah.
It's nice for its change. You don't see that very often in wrestling.
No. What we do see very often in wrestling, though, is people who have the similar lineage ethnicity fighting each other.
Oh, yeah.
How do you like that for a segue? Carlito versus Santos Escobar for a 7-minute and 34-second match. The crux of this is Santos is saying he had nothing to do with the attack on Dragon Lee that took him out of WrestleMania.
Santos was on Raw this week too, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. He's like not interesting, but he's good.
I have some thoughts about that match too. But we'll get there.
Well, for Raw. He said the reason that Santos Escobar left the LW is because Mysterio brought in Carlito without consulting him, which is bringing us to Carlito fighting Santos Escobar. It's good that it's like in the middle of a SmackDown. It's a nice payoff, right? Anyway, Santos Escobar won with
not in
a
the middle of a
phantom
match.
driver.
Let's go talk to Carlito for a while.
It's whatever. It's like a who. Like they didn't need to have a match. It's another who done it. Like who attacked Dragon Lee. That's fine. Maybe it was Mercedes Martinez. In the sky, this is different. I like this. In a skybox they show
Mercedes Martinez is on the AEW women's roster, isn't she?
It could be her. Kayla Braxton is interviewing Damage Control from a skybox, which I really liked. Dakota Kai is Damage Control is still Dakota Kai says Damage Control is still the most dominant force in WWE. She's not willing to say that Io Sky is a former champ. She's getting real salty about that. The Kabuki Warriors are still tag champs, and that's not going to change. And then Jade Cargill's music hits, and they're at the next box. Her and Bianca Belair, they're at the next box over.
Well, it couldn't have been a sellout then, Dave, because those two boxes were occupied by talent.
You're not wrong. Well, Triple H said we got a full house. So, but I thought
he's the Pope. You have to believe everything he says.
I thought it was wildly coincidental that out of all these boxes,
they happen to have.
This happened the first time. I do like that they were up in the box because it does play into the match later that's going to happen.
Did you see Tiffany Stratton is evidently a listener to the program?
Why is that?
Because she, in an interview this week, said that her and Bianca Belair have a lot of physical attributes that are similar, and that's why they have a lot of very good chemistry in the ring together, which is essentially what I said, why they should have been the tag team that they had together rather than Jade and Bianca, because it exposes Jade a little bit.
Tiffany Stratton, if you would like to be a guest on the Blue Thunder Pod.
You're located in Frankfort, Illinois.
Just call us at the number on the bottom of your screen.
Fly in. We'll go pick you up at O'Hare or something.
We'll go get Portillo's. They did. This is another cool thing they did. Cody cuts.
Kid Cudi is there?
Kid Cudi, yeah.
I'm in the pursuit of happiness, and I know. It's a good song.
Sully Cudi.
I like the remix, too.
Cody cuts a promo from London, England, which was apparently an adjacent live event that they had, and he's hyping AJ Styles' win. So this is pretty cool. And I'm like, I've never seen this before. And it's also showing like, wow, these guys are big. Because I was wondering, like, why is Cody, this is the first show he's not on it. It's SmackDown. And it's like right before the draft.
Cody's missed, by the way, when he's not around.
A little bit. We don't know what we're going to talk about when he's not around.
Yeah.
Cody calls AJ the modern excellence of execution. Didn't love that.
I mean, it's just not a great comp.
No.
Modern HBK would be much better.
Much better. He takes the belt off at some point, and all you hear is the Velcro. It just makes it sound so. It looks so cool, and it's the Velcro belt. He's hyping that they have a contract signing next week, draft day, which is when
it's right now. We're gonna do it at the end of the show.
Yes. Up next, they have the Women's Championship match, Naomi versus Bayley. They went 11 minutes, 20 seconds. I think Bayley has new music. I don't know.
I did not notice. Maybe I jumped on the show or coming back from a commercial or something. I didn't quite get there because I think I would have noticed that.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's like it starts with it
more baby faces,
and then like it's got more of like a 4 on the floor kind of beat to it. I think
sounds pretty standard WWE generic.
Yeah. It sounded super generic. Yeah.
Why are they doing that to everybody? Like, music matters.
Yes, music matters. The only reason I even watch Nakamura anymore is because he walks out.
Yeah.
My next note was Naomi moves so slow.
You hate Naomi almost as much as you hate Mercedes Moné.
I don't hate Naomi. There were parts of and I tried to like kind of reset my
I paid closer attention too, and it's a little
so slow.
It's methodical.
We'll go.
Like again, I have trouble deciphering. She's not moving any slower than Damian Priest. Like,
but like she'll do her little like jump, like what's it called, the rear view.
yeah,
Lightning fast.
yeah.
But then she'll do other moves where like it's comic. It's like she's moving like Orange Cassidy, like slow.
Yeah, it's like it's the setups to stuff. It make what it does. I think and the reason it stands out to you, I think, is it makes it feel a little bit more choreographed. It's the getting into positions for stuff.
That could be
it. Doesn't feel natural. Doesn't feel like an athletic move to get into the spot. And then when you don't do that athletically, if you don't do the getting into your position athletically, it looks like you're doing a dance more than a fight.
Right.
And I think that, I'm with you. Like her actual moves, the moves themselves, I think she does it at an appropriate speed.
Sure.
It's the the setups and stuff take longer than they should, which makes it look like
she runs the ropes.
You know
slow.
what's going to happen.
She looks like, but she's about to run. Like when she's like, okay, I'm going to go run now, and like I feel like
basically all the stuff that isn't the move specific. Like I think before I was looking at the moves and be like, no, she's hitting that with the right kind of force or whatever. But you're right though. All the setup stuff, like and the rope running, like when you're getting to a place in the ring, everything she does there looks more methodical, like or contrived, and it makes it look like it makes it look cooperative. We don't want this to look cooperative.
Yes.
We want to make it look like a fight.
So I agree with everything you said. And I think the cooperative part is what really bugs me because I'm supposed to believe that the person you're doing this to is just going to voluntarily, slowly
wait for you to get into a spot.
Yeah.
That's why I've never had a problem with botches. People always are bitching about botches in matches. If somebody doesn't get hurt, a botch is a good thing occasionally because it would happen in a fight. Right. Like if fights really did go down, like in a way that they go down in wrestling where people do 450s or whatever, like as a thing in real fights. Well, sometimes that would get screwed up and you would like trip or whatever. So that's not really a problem in a match, but like methodically getting into a position that makes it look like you're cooperative. That's a big problem.
100%. Yep. Good. I'm glad you came around on that one.
Yep.
So like, and it makes me not like, I love Bayley, but like, I'm kind of can't watch Naomi matches.
And I'm not really as interested in after. Maybe I should not have listened to you because I think it ruined Naomi for me. And I like Bayley matches are generally pretty fun.
Yeah, I like Bayley.
She thumps the hell out of people.
Yeah, but the finish had nobody being thumped. That's a bad transition. Tiffany Stratton attacked everybody. Tiffany Stratton attacks Bayley on the outside. Just if you attack people on the outside, is that a DQ?
Only if nothing is consistent in the Fed, but it's supposed to be if you get attacked first, then it's like if you come out and the person that's involved in the match hits you first, then you can respond
on the outside
generally, but like on the outside, on the inside, like nobody can do anything, but on the outside, usually you can defend yourself. But it's supposed to be a DQ if you attack somebody on the outside. If unprompted, you just like I come out in your match and you happen to be out by the announce table and I hit you, it's supposed to be a DQ.
Okay. I was like Googling wrestling rules. I'm like, oh, we got to stop this. That's a tough
one because it changes like a lot too. Like,
also found quite a few opinions about guys that have like what do they used to be called? Live journals. So like guys are a lot of like really well thought out. Like, all right, fellas.
I mean, I do talk for like 7 hours a week about the same kind of stuff that they're probably live journaling.
You and me both, man. So they have, she does the prettiest moonsaults ever on both in the ring. I really like that everyone that could have potentially wanted to interfere in this match was in a skybox.
Yeah.
Couldn't come down. So it felt super heelish on Tiffany Stratton's part, super opportunistic. I already loved her. Yeah. Like I like her even more now. They're just fleshing her character out even better. That was the end of SmackDown.
I thought it was a pretty good episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
We got like new cool belts, and I got to see Kevin Owens' blade.
Yeah.
You're always going to win with me if you get Kevin Owens in a match, like a very physical match, even if he's not coming out on top, and he gets the blade. Tama Tonga is the star of the Bloodline right now.
Yep.
And I love Paul Heyman, all the work that Paul Heyman's doing right now. It's going to be funny and interesting and fun to see Paul Heyman be the damsel in distress that gets rescued by returning superhero Roman Reigns. It should be a lot of fun.
It'll be. Let's just hope they don't put him in a plexiglass full of concrete.
Kill the wise men
Yeah.
with lightning powers.
I'm adding columns so we could have our drafts taken seriously. We're going to do the draft after we do Raw really quick. So Monday Night Raw was in Columbus, Ohio at the Schottenstein Center. It was on the campus of Ohio State.
Did you watch this episode full on, Dave? Whole thing all the way through?
We're going to find out, aren't we? It did say 3 hours this time, so I have to assume I did. If you didn't listen last week.
I didn't take I didn't do per match notes.
Yeah.
I just did all my goofy thoughts this time.
Yeah,
so
I got you, boo.
we may not catch it if something got edited out.
It was listening back to last week. It was really fun. Us coming to the conclusion.
Loved it.
Wait a minute. It opens with.
Can I actually? I want to say something to that.
You have to.
Listening back to it was a lot of fun. Also made me realize that I must have sounded like a grumpy old dick to Dave the last 4 Raws that I was like, oh my God, the pacing on these shows is trash. Realizing that no, the ones he's been watching have been absolutely fine. So I must have just been sounding like you only are saying that because it's the Fed and you hate them. I'm like,
yeah.
No. It's because the pacing on the shows is trash.
That is pretty funny.
Jey Uso, Damian Priest have a chat?
Not yet. They had it opens with developing story. That's the first thing you see. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are in the ring, and they're hyping the 2 title matches for tonight. One will be for the Battle Royal for the women's title, and the other one is a tag team title match. And they said this is only the 4th time ever that a Battle Royal will determine. They just said the champion. Do they mean the women's champion? I don't care.
No, it's the overall champion, or any kind of champion. They were really working hard to convince me that it was a good idea to have a Battle Royal for the title. Yeah. And unless you got Ric Flair in it, it's a bad idea.
So then, Jey Uso started in ring. Like I mentioned, he's turned what? Oh no, I said this about LA Knight. He's turned into what? 2
different guys have done this with different words.
Jey Uso has turned what into yeet, and he leans into it, man.
Yeah.
He starts saying stuff. That's all I wrote. He started saying stuff.
It's Jey Uso. He's not. I mean, he's good here, but he's not saying anything that matters.
He starts saying stuff, and then Damian Priest walks out. Damian Priest is wearing Jordan 12 retro playoff shoes.
Yeah, I did.
God damn it, they're pretty.
Those are dope ass shoes. I did the chasm. We'll get into what they say in a second here, but the chasm between Damian Priest and Jey Uso on the mic is vast, and I don't know if I would have brought it to as much attention as this back and forth did, because one guy sounded like scripted as fuck, and the other guy sounded like he had a bunch of charisma and was talking.
Yeah. Yeet. Damian Priest talks about one specific night last year when Jey Uso beat Damian Priest's ass so bad that Damian Priest went up to Jey in the locker room and said he earned his respect, which is why he wanted Jey Uso in Judgment Day. And then they went out drinking. Did they ask him to be in the Judgment Day?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. It might have happened. I just have no recollection of it.
It seems like the Judgment Day was pretty busy as far as my memory goes.
Yeah.
We had some Sami Zayn stuff happening for a year, and then some Cody Rhodes stuff happening for a year, and then a few months of The Rock. So I don't know when Damian Priest was.
Jey
might have asked him to be their driver or something.
Could have been. Speaking of, that was a funny line. So after Damian Priest said all that, and he's like, "Oh, me and you, we went out drinking," and Jey really quickly goes, "I took an Uber."
yeah, that was. Yeah,
probably,
Jey was good. Jey was really good.
Probably winking at his brother not taking an Uber. Jey said, he said that Jey said we were next. Damian Priest was proud to stand next to him. Says he was right. Actually, he's being half right because Damian Priest was next. The belt shows why he was next. Why he's now.
Yeah.
You're the first person on our list of people that the machine is going to feed to make sure it looks good on me. And that's it. Oh no, there's more. Sorry. Jey Uso said the only reason you're the leader of the Judgment Day is because Rhea Ripley got hurt. You know what that makes you to me right now? Dominic Mysterio's bitch. He's right.
Jey was good here.
Yep.
Fired up too. Like he took the shades off partway through.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, very good.
Yeah.
Even when he's doing his like catchphrasey Uzi stuff, he was doing it with like intensity in his eyes, not breaking his stare at Damian Priest the whole time.
Yeah.
I believed everything he was saying.
Yeah. I'm making brackets. Sorry, I should have done this before. Uso said he'll be champion. Duh. JD McDonough comes out and he tries to super kick Jay Uso, but he hits Damian Priest instead.
Yeah. Sloppy, bad, slow super kick.
JD McDonough. Oh boy. Just like did he do something to someone?
It feels
and they're
like
blackmailing him.
It feels like the old days or something.
It really does.
Where you would get bullied on
he
on air.
never gets over, like ever. And
he's pretty talented in the ring.
Yeah,
like,
but like, there's no shortage of guys that are talented in the ring now. Like, it is just like, ugh, what a whipping boy. So after that, we had the World Tag Team Championship match. DIY versus Awesome Truth. This was 10 minutes and 7 seconds. DIY's theme song reminds me.
I wanted to mention my take
on
Damian Priest. Damian Priest is just, he ain't it, man. He's not.
No.
Like, I know he's got the belt on his shoulder now, and he's got a deep voice, and he's big, and he's got a good look.
Right.
But I really, really think he is Lance Archer without the in-ring talent or charisma.
Yeah.
That's just what he is.
That's fair.
I don't get it. And like when you put him in there with a guy like Jey Uso who has like a natural connection with the crowd, and when he talks sounds like a person talking, it really stands out that Damian Priest should not be at this level on the card.
Correct.
To me, at least.
You're not. No, you're. Well, they got to do something with him.
I'd rather see Cameron Grimes.
Oh, 100%. Take the Judgment Day to the moon.
Yeah.
DIY's theme song reminds me of Youth of a Nation by POD. You remember that song?
Yes, of course I do.
Youth of a Nation. I just have. It was a good tag match. I don't like matches where the ending's never in doubt.
I have a couple notes. It's R-Truth. R-Truth has got way better flow than he used to.
Yeah.
He did his rap on his way out to the ring, and I was like, when did R-Truth learn how to rap? Because he used to be terrible, and now he's pretty good. Maybe it's the confidence that comes along with like an actual push for the first time in his career. So. He sounded great. Miz does not sound good. Nah. He continues to be the Miz. At the start of this match, I took the note that they should mention Triple H a few more times, because Michael Cole, he does it 3 times in the first 2 minutes of this match. Miz sucking ass. Priest even sounds like a video game character when he's done a backstage segment. Okay, so that's I'm on to the next thing.
And that was pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. I don't know. I need to figure out a way to enjoy something when I know how it's going to end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, it has to be just a killer match.
Yeah. Because SmackDown had a Fatal 4-Way where I was pretty sure where they were going with it.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was really fun.
It was good. I knew how Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay was ending.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the hell out
of it.
It was
really fun. I don't know. Backstage, they go back to your... Oh, I'm sorry. The match ends with, they're calling it the truth-crushing finale for the W. Gargano...
Truth was good in the ring here, too, by the way.
Of
like,
course
better than... Again, it probably was never... It wasn't Truth in the past. He was always good in the ring, but he was like for the last 15 years, it's been in like 24/7 opponents.
Yeah.
So not very high level, but he's looking great lately.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
guy's like 60 years old,
again,
whatever he is.
It's the motivation
great.
thing.
You just sent me a picture of him with like the
Tupac,
and he's got a hairdo like he was in Boys to Men or something.
He's got Demolition Man hair.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. He's been around a long ass time, is what I'm saying. And he looks great. Like,
yeah, big fan. So Gargano goes to shake hands with Truth and Miz after, and they do the handshake and the hug. Ciampa does not. Ciampa turns away defiantly. And I sincerely hope that they turn this guy back to brutal heel Goldie Ciampa, because that was one of the best underrated heels.
My favorite
wrestling
heel
has ever seen
in the history of NXT, I think.
Good Lord, was he good?
Yeah,
psychotically good,
incredible. Very Paul Heyman-esque too. accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. I never one time during that run thought of him as like an undersized guy or whatever. Not until the main roster, that when they like make it a point to point it out for some reason. I never thought of him as like undersized. I just thought of him as a scary motherfucker. Like,
right.
So yeah, I'd love to see that too.
Yeah. Let's hope that's where they go. Backstage, Damian Priest is with JD McDonough, and he's scolding McDonough for kicking him in the face. Dom and Santos Escobar come in. Dom's arm is in a sling.
Yeah.
Is he hurt? Is he hurt for real?
I don't think so. I mean, I didn't hear anything. He was wrestling last week on Raw, so he not on TV for if you watched Hulu, but I saw him wrestle in the alternate universe. Are we sure Dom is actually not Eddie Guerrero's son? Every time I see him, he looks more like Eddie Guerrero.
Well, they say don't they say people and their dogs look alike?
Yeah.
So maybe.
Do I look like Rocky?
He is handsome as fuck.
Thank you.
Talking about the dog. Well, by association.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe if you're told something enough, you're if you will it, it will become.
I think he's got to be doing it on purpose. He's got the mustache and the mullet.
Yeah. He looks.
These idiot fans were chanting "shave the mustache" to Tom. I'm like, it's a great look.
He's also a heel.
Yeah, he's a heel. He also had Liv Morgan making eyes at him this week. So keep the mustache, dude.
As if he wasn't going to be more likable by the beta males on Twitter. Gee, he's got another lady on the roster looking at him. Yeah. But he said he can't wrestle tonight, and he asked Santos to return the favor from WrestleMania and take his place. And JD says, Damian Priest says, go out there and handle your business and stay out of mine. All right.
Go out there. Stay in your business and out of mine.
We're live, pal.
And you're in a backstage segment, especially, you don't have to do the, read it like it's on the script where there's a big pause between stanzas and stuff. Yeah. Just talk like a person.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know his motivation. That's why. In ring, we did not need anyone to know their motivation because they know their characters inside and out. We had Imperium come down to the ring.
I love Gunther. Sorry,
Gunther gets in the ring.
It's not fair that he's as good a talker as he is, too.
Nope. No, he's a 5-tool player,
yeah,
for sure. Gunther is flanked by Giovanni Vici and what's his name? Kaiser Wilhelm. What's the other guy?
I only wrote Vinci because I said Vinci's in trouble after this.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Flanked by both of them. Gunther says he's not here to take shots at Sami Zayn. He went away for a little while. It took him some time to digest everything. I don't know if this was just a happy accident. He was champion for 666 days.
When he said that, I'm like,
that's pretty
can't be intentional. It's awesome.
Yeah, I elevated the IC title to heights it has never seen before and became the greatest champion in its illustrious history.
Truth, brother.
Truth. Preach. Had a lot of pressure on him, and now it's gone. He says to Sami Zayn, thank you for that, because now I'm not a target. I've gone from being the hunted to the hunter. It's playing off of what Cody said. Yeah, which is a nice juxtaposition. Mm-hmm. I will make sure my name will be embedded into this new era, and he's officially declaring his participation in the King of the Ring tournament. I
have to now, because we have a show.
Yeah.
And they're doing things of consequence. I have to watch a Saudi. I've never watched a Saudi show before. I never wanted to contribute to that.
The King of the Ring?
The Blood Money. Saudi. Any Saudi shows.
Yeah.
Now I got to watch one.
Well, you can just...
I already have Peacocks. I'm not giving them any extra money.
Yeah.
I just didn't like watching them.
Yeah. Also, too, you can't open up your phone when there's international shows because it's all spoiled.
Oh, it just
already.
tells you everything. Yeah.
Excuse me. He said once he wins the King of the Ring tournament, it's then up to him to decide which title he goes after, the Intercontinental or any other ones. But fair warning, as a champion, you will be targeted and hunted by someone who can hold on to a title longer than anyone else. I like that. Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Did they announce here that King of the Ring has another stipulation or added bonus for winning?
I didn't get that from any of this.
Somebody somewhere said that it was your title shot because I saw a lot of people praising, but I didn't hear it on the show anywhere. I just saw a lot of people talking about it.
So you can go after any title you want if you win the King of the Ring?
This is just from the discourse, but it was a lot of people. So I'm like, they must have said it somewhere.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I watched the whole show. I didn't hear it.
Let's see if there's any stipulations. Oh, no.
That's really good if they're doing that. They should have always had that.
Yeah.
It should have been a title shot at SummerSlam, always, obviously.
For some reason, it's bringing up King of the Ring 2000. I don't know.
Oh,
why.
okay.
Yeah, which I don't hate that one. He says he's already the ring general. Oh, I'm sorry, he's already the general of the ring. Soon he'll be the king of the ring. And then, it's a new day. Yes, it is. And I'm like, okay. I groaned at
They
this.
were great here, though.
They made a lot of sense to me here.
And they were just very entertaining, too. I mean, they're usually entertaining, but this was particularly entertaining.
Yeah. Xavier Woods is doing most of the talking. He says it's a new era, and what better way to usher in a new era than with the new day? And what better way to usher in the new era than with the reigning, defending King of the Ring, Xavier Woods?
I gotta do the big A.
For our video participants.
Yeah, no video right now for this one, so it's just for your benefit, Dave.
There's also no number on the screen to call. But Xavier Woods says that makes Gunther because Xavier Woods is the current King of the Ring, and Gunther is declaring his participation in the tournament. Xavier Woods says Gunther is a usurper, a pretender to his throne. I like that verbiage there. Xavier Woods is going to be the second ever two-time King of the Ring, behind Bret Hart.
Yeah. Did they say Bret Hart?
No, they just said. I had to go Google it. But New Day gets a "Where your gold at?" chant, which I thought was funny.
Where you going at? They also said that you lost your title to Sam Zayn, which I was like, I love you, New Day.
Sam Zayn.
Because you lost your belt to Sam Zayn.
That's funny. Wrote a song about it like the hit. Gunther 6, his tag team lackeys on the New Day.
What? Wait, what? There was another part to the promo I like too. There was something that Kofi kept repeating. Tell him 2 times. Tell him 3 times so he knows. And it was like, damn it, making me very, very happy. I forget what it was, but it was great.
I think at this point, the oven-baked lasagna I was making was nearing its ending. I was just being wafted away with lack of detail.
Did they announce what the match was going to be?
New Day versus Imperium?
And then Kofi or Xavier said exactly what my brain said.
Oh, yes.
We've seen each other so many times already. Yeah. And I was like, no shit, Kof. Yeah. Or Xavier, I think it was. How about we don't see this match again for the billionth goddamn time? Like in the last 3 months.
Well, we saw it again, and it went for 9 minutes and 26 seconds. The New Day won. And for the reason that we've seen it 100 times, I only know that the New Day won.
Yeah.
Gunther's at commentary, and when Imperium loses, he's furious, throws his chair, he walks away, he goes like up the ramp, and then 2 guys in Imperium they're hugging, they're having a nice moment. Giovanni Vici ate the pin again. He eats all the pins in this tag team, and Ludwig Kaiser attacks him, thereby seemingly dismantling Imperium.
I'm worried for Vinci's future prospects in the company.
You think so? Maybe he'll be under the learning tree in 3 months. But so while this is all going on, Gunther has walked back to the backstage. Kaiser also walks back. The camera follows him, and we see that Gunther's waiting for him in the gorilla position. And Kaiser says to Gunther, I told you that I'd get it done. And Gunther starts smiling really big. So this was all coordinated.
I'm a little worried that this is going to lead to Ilya Dragunov being put in this group because he happens to be Eastern European.
Yeah.
And he's a star. He is an individual. Yeah. What's great about him is that he's like a big, bright, shining on his own star.
Right.
He does the thing when he's coming out, and it's awesome. And everything about him screams like this guy needs to be on his own. And I'm just worried they just debuted him, and then they got rid of one of the guys in their Eastern European faction, and it's WWE. So they're like, oh, Eastern European guy? Go with the Eastern European guys. That's all.
Probably.
I really hope that's not going to happen, because
he did just drop.
Ilya Dragunov could be like a main event star.
Well, I mean, we were just praising Tommaso Ciampa for being a vicious heel, and now he's cosplaying as Triple H. So we'll see. They do a quick WWE speed promo. I know we talked about this like once or twice, but apparently it's on Wednesdays at 12 a.m. Eastern time.
Have you seen any?
Not a single one.
It should just be called WWE Short, because it's not that fast. It's just short matches.
3-minute matches.
Yeah, it's not super fast though.
Have you watched them?
I saw clips. Not great.
So Not great. Let's move along. Speaking of not great is how they're handling Andrade, but they do give him a package here. And he says he's many things, but he's nobody's fool. Nobody's fool. Who's that? Cinderella, maybe? He betrayed the Judgment Day.
I think so.
And then he says Judgment Day didn't want a business partner. They wanted a servant. And nobody tells him what to do. And now he's their biggest problem. Cool. He is just dying for his wife to come back and throw weight around because he's doing nothing.
Did they say what's happening in this? Like what he's got coming up on this show in his little thing here?
If they did.
I think they did, because my note was the Hulu viewers must be pretty confused right now because he's teaming with Ricochet for seemingly no reason.
Yeah.
If you watched Hulu and didn't get to see that match.
Yeah, no, they probably mentioned that, but again, I think I was spooning down lasagna at this point. In ring, and I went to go get lasagna because I paused it here because
you knew it was coming?
Drew McIntyre was coming in the ring. So we had an in-ring segment. Drew McIntyre comes out right away. CM Punk chants start, and Drew McIntyre sits.
I was chanting CM Punk because for the second week in a row, I'm going to ask, where was CM Punk?
Yeah.
Put him on my TV.
Saving him for the draft, man.
He can make my weekly viewing better.
You're preaching to the choir.
WWE, Triple H, God King that you are. Like, why don't you put your best guy on the TV, please?
He's not. He's healthy again.
Tony Khan, who had problems with Punk and also has problems with keeping people on TV when you need him, knew that it was a good idea when he's healthy. Put his ass on TV all the time.
Even when he doesn't work with the company, put him on TV.
Yeah,
it pops a rating. Drew McIntyre sits crisscross applesauce, and he goes, "As usual, don't shoot up my kilt, you perv." And then they're still chanting CM Punk. Why do you insist on chanting his name? So that man actually hates all of you. The only person he hates more than the fans is himself. You ever love something so much it doesn't quite love you back as much? And he said, that's my relationship with professional wrestling. And then the crowd's chanting, what's between all these? And he goes, say what if you French kiss your cousins? And the crowd goes, what? And he goes, you're sick? You don't understand complex relationships because the most complex relationship most of you in here I've ever had is with your right hand. All right.
I hate the fucking What Chance so much.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's ruined so many things. I love when people do something clever with it like this, though. He's great. He continues to be great on the mic.
He's doing the best work of his career continually. After he says the right hand comment, Pat McAfee goes, I think there's some southpaws in the room.
That was funny. McAfee got on my nerves this show, mostly because I think he's playing up now his stupid Pittsburgh accents. It is so over the top. It sounds like Dave Wannstedt talking. It makes me. I can't stand Pat McAfee.
Who had Dave Wannstedt on their bingo card?
Well, we've mentioned we are Chicagoland based,
right.
And he is on the score every week. He's like one of their main guys they talk to, so I hear him quite a bit.
That's
and
fair.
it's the most ridiculous, over the top Pittsburgh accent.
Yeah.
Until Pat McAfee.
Yeah. Now, while we're at it, 773-202. Boop, 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 boop. Luna. He recounts, Drew McIntyre recounts his attack and loss at WrestleMania. Yeah, brought up kind of a good point. He said, I didn't get my rematch like everybody else. I had to compete in a fatal four-way. I got screwed by Punk again, but I'm not going to complain.
That's his whole thing.
It's funny. And then he says his next prize is the King of the Ring. And he's like, I don't give a damn about the draft. And he's clearly about to rant more. And then Fat Sheamus comes
Shameful
out.
thing, lobster. He's less fat already.
He's less fat.
He's already less fat.
And he
not any better in the ring.
He put his old underoos on.
Yeah.
He looked like when Mr. Incredible got back into the game, like his old gear. So Sheamus comes out, and he's all smiley. And he says all he sees, Sheamus is talking to Drew McIntyre now, says all he sees is someone who won't take responsibility for his mistakes, which makes him a coward. He asks Drew to stand up because Drew is still crisscross applesauce.
Still crisscross applesauce.
He's known Drew for 20 years, and the last 4 years, he's only heard Drew bitch about how he's robbed out of his moment at WrestleMania during the pandemic era because nobody was there to see him.
I was like, I watched you guys work out on YouTube. You weren't talking about that at all.
But then he says this year at WrestleMania, he did it. He won the world title, and his family was there. And then he blew it over some stupid social media spat. He should be champion now, but over a meme and a T-shirt, he threw it all away. Sheamus is connecting some dots that we're all thinking. Sheamus says, we've had banger after banger after banger after banger.
He went too many bangers here.
Yeah.
Just banger after banger is all you got to do.
In a room or a ring full of European guys, I'm surprised nobody said MASH.
Yeah. I'm sure they were biting their tongues.
Yeah. He says, ask his friend, he's here to tell him the hard truth. A one-armed CM Punk kicked your arse. I had to rewind this so many times and then eventually put on closed captioning to understand what the hell he said. I'm like, a one-armed I couldn't figure out the first word out of his mouth, but a one-armed CM Punk.
It was a little garble-mouthed.
Yeah.
It was, especially you got Drew on the other side.
Which is fine. He has a thick accent, but
his thick accent and his mic is decent, but it's not the best.
No. So then he challenges Drew basically about him obsessing over CM Punk. And then Drew's like, you want to do this in public? All right.
I bet.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I bet afterwards his thought was, I didn't want to do that in public.
Shit. I've made a huge mistake. He says, Drew McIntyre says, before you were injured, it was banger after banger after banger. But now since you returned, it looks like it's been burger after burger after burger. And Sheamus is loving it. He's cracking up.
Sheamus's reaction made me think he's in a good place right now mentally.
But also, too, he's going to be back in Adonis form in no time.
His abs were visible already on this show. So, I'm still concerned about the in ring ever getting back to where it was.
I think it'll be... Again, cautiously optimistic.
But his appearance is already I'm sure by today he put his
old underoos back on. He was not wearing the official WWE Sheamus boxer shorts. I googled the shop to see if they were selling those. I was just like, they gotta be selling these. No, that's just one and done. I'm like, they're selling in-ring gear underoos. That would make sense. So many people would buy those. And then so many people would ruin...
They'd buy Woo Energy, Dave. No, of course they'll buy Sheamus underoos.
Can you imagine the amount of times intimacy had to be halted because somebody gets naked and they're in their CM Punk underoos? Look in my eyes. And the wife's like, I'm gonna go to bed now.
At least... The female in that situation probably would just be like, oh, it's just a Chicago flag. That's kind of weird, but okay. On your underpants?
Why do you have elbow pads on?
Yeah. Why are you taping up your fists? We're going to make love.
That's pretty funny.
You don't understand me, woman.
Yeah. This is my passion. I'm passionate about wrestling. You need to get a job, Cliff. How are you affording those?
I'll be in the basement.
I gotta sew some new underoos together. And then their lives are ruined when they do a gimmick change. They're like,
why is Daddy a devil worshiper now?
Oh man, that's funny. So anyway, Sheamus goes, one thing I've noticed since I've been gone is you're getting really good at these one-liners. And Sheamus goes, I can lose the weight. You can't lose stupid. So stop blaming everybody else for the mistakes. Drew says, burger after burger, the ginger Pillsbury Doughboy, Flubberman. That's what all the guys in the back were saying during your match last week.
Is Flubberman something? Is that a play on something? I couldn't figure that one out.
I only thought of Flubber, the movie, the Robin Williams movie.
But
that wasn't even fat. That was a piece of gack.
And it also wouldn't, the ginger thing, it's a Sheamus thing, and the burger after burger, it's a Sheamus thing. What? I think there must be something that I'm just missing.
I think everything sounds better in lists of 3, and he didn't have anything else to say, so he's like, the Flubberman. It did remind me of Rubber Band Man by the Spinners, and that song was fucking slaps. Hand me down,
it's a good boxing workout song on VR boxing workout too.
But he says he was defending Sheamus backstage. Sheamus doesn't care what they say. Drew does because he's your friend and he tells you the truth every single week, and he's Sheamus's only friend here. And he says his friendship with Sheamus isn't worthwhile, but he's here for him. So go ringside and watch your back. Cool.
Yeah, it was
cool delivery.
And once they started the back and forth, Sheamus got way better here too.
Yeah,
he's much better at the back and forth than he is doing just the WWE promo, the stuff. When they started talking, and he was like, "I don't care what they say in the back." It felt very real and believable. He doesn't care. No. I believe that, Sheamus.
It's also
good job.
That makes Drew look more desperate as a heel.
Yes, absolutely. And his friend clearly does not care, and he should be happy for his friend that doesn't give a shit what people say about him.
Yeah, there was a lot of real subtle, good. Perhaps not completely intentional character building in this. So But we got to see Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It was 11 minutes, 21 seconds. They did say it was Sheamus's 1,901st match.
It's a lot of stiff-ass matches.
It's a lot of matches.
For an older guy.
He
was better. I will give him, he was better here than in the prior week. But, I mean, he had an easier opponent to be good with. But he still was not even close to where he was before he got hurt.
Now that you mention that, I don't know if, because my note here was Nakamura clearly doesn't care anymore. Maybe he just slowed down to
he did.
As a crutch.
Even Nakamura working, this was definitely like one of, I always talk about the two Nakamuras that exist. Yeah. Like when he gives a shit, it still can be amazing. Yeah. But most of the time he's like, I'm here for a paycheck and I know that I can get by on my dance thing and then just whatever matches. This is a whatever match, but a whatever Nakamura match is still a better dance partner for Sheamus than not Otis was last week.
1,000%.
So like he looked better than he did, but he's a ways away from where because he was like crushing it every time he was on TV before he got hurt.
Ring rust thing.
I'm more hopeful opponents. After he like shed a lot of the weight immediately. Yeah. That like maybe just got to give him a little bit more time.
Yeah. I don't know. Brogue kick win. Good match. It was just
like again.
It was
change that name.
It was a,
but it was decent.
It was a good match. Yeah. I've seen this match from Sheamus a couple times, dozen times. Yeah. But he has good matches, so it was fun to watch. But I mean, I started writing notes about moves. I'm like, oh yeah, it's
the same thing.
It's a paint by numbers Sheamus match.
Nakamura's been on every television show that WWE's produced for the last 12 years,
and he has lost.
Sheamus has a very healthy outlook here. I'm happy for him. They did for this match do again, Dave. Fucking entrance, commercial, video filler, after commercial, while there's guys in the ring, then back to the match where I was like, oh, did I fast? No, I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
It's their stupid layout again. Why they did the Nakamura's entrance, then went to commercial break. They came back. When they came back, it was just a bunch of like a filler like stuff about the women, like they were going woman to woman for the main
the battle royal.
Yeah, it was coming up, but no point to it. They were just like, here's Katana Cross or whatever her name is, that tag team that is useless.
Katana Chance,
and
Caden
Cross. So I was right.
Katana Cross.
It doesn't matter what their names are. It was like showing them stretching. Yeah. I'm like, why are we? I thought Nakamura was in the ring now. Yeah. What's going on?
He stretches in the ring. Show him stretching.
Yeah. So then we get back to them, and I'm like, what were they doing that whole time?
I've been trying like hell for a while to do that thing where he sits on his like knees.
The big one, where he drops back.
No, we can do that right now. We could actually have a chat. We need a judge to see who could do it better. But I think you and I could have a lot of fun with that. Where he's sitting on
Rocky can judge us.
He's sitting on his feet. Rocky
judges us every
fucking week. Getting a lot of side eye from this dog. But where he sits on his feet and he leans all the way back, that's part of my stretching now, and it's fucking hard to do. I respect the shit out of it.
Of course, it's hard.
Like I feel like every ligament's gonna snap in my knees. So after this match, good match, like you said, Sheamus match.
Yeah, a big improvement from last week.
Yeah. Backstage, we have Kathy Kelly with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn wants to address what happened to him last week with Chad Gable, but he hears Chad Gable's going to address it in the ring tonight, so he's just going to be patient and wait. And then Bronson Reed gets in Sami Zayn's face, and Sami Zayn basically says, anytime, any place. And Sami Zayn turns his back, and Bronson Reed attacks him from behind. We're getting a Bronson Reed, Sami Zayn Intercontinental title program.
My note was not Otis, ain't it?
No.
Like he just, it's...
No. Nope. He's got like Iron Man villain vibes.
Yeah, kind of.
You know?
Yeah. I just don't want to see him anymore.
No. And
especially when we got actual Otis back this week. Like,
also too, like, can't we just have more Chad Gable and Sami Zayn?
Yeah,
I'd prefer that.
Thought that's what they were doing.
Yeah. Well, here we are. Speaking of Chad Gable, it's an in-ring.
Liked all this
with
though.
all of Alpha Academy.
Did Chad Gable always have the NFL on Fox theme? That's his song. I
maybe.
Never recognized it until this week. I was like,
perhaps.
I'm like, why is NFL on Fox? Oh, it's Chad Gable. It's just that song. The first like 6 notes are like lifted directly from the song.
I have to pay attention closely now. Chad Gable's in a suit. The rest of them, Akira Tozawa, Maxine Dupree, and actual Otis are in their Alpha Academy ring gear.
Looking all sad.
Otis's shirt said like junior cadet or something like that. It made me laugh out loud. Yeah, they do not look thrilled. Chad Gable, he said he's had a rough couple weeks. At least what he did.
Did we mention he's besuited?
I did. Did I
Oh,
say
you
it was
did. I'm
a
sorry.
suit?
I mean, I missed it.
Besuited? I like that. Stealing that. He said, at least what I did to Sammy was justified. Chad Gable could handle Sami Zayn winning. He said that wasn't good enough for Sami Zayn. So he saw Sami Zayn saw Chad Gable weeping in the corner after the match was over, and Sami Zayn went over to him and he put the title right in his face. Yeah. This promo was a really good example of how to spin something in your favor.
I love all this way more than shoosh and all that nonsense. He was intimidating as hell.
Yeah,
here.
this was very good. So he put the title right in his face, kind of rubbing it in his face. That was he was implying. Chad Gable used class. He raised Sami Zayn's hand, but that wasn't good enough. Because then Sami Zayn went out of the ring and celebrated with his wife right when Chad Gable was watching. And he said that should have been my moment. That should have been him at WrestleMania. That should have been him celebrating with his daughter in the front row. But I got a little concerned when he said that they were going to go back to, but it was just a good line.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, it was a way to put a bow on all the daughter shit.
Yeah.
But instead of all that, he was wasting his time training Sami Zayn. I've been wasting my time training a bunch of freaking losers. Cook, baby, cook.
I love that he's not like firing him either. He's just going to be a prick bully, like
absolutely.
a evil, like the meanest gym coach you ever had. Like.
He gets into Zawa's face. He says, all you do is come out, do your dance, and rack up loss after loss. Goes to Maxine. Sweet Maxine, pretty as a princess, but dumb as a box of rocks.
It hurt.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I've given
leave
you
her alone.
Yeah.
Jerk.
I've given you everything and got nothing in return. He's doing masterful heel work, and then everybody's acting exactly how they need to. And then he goes to Otis, and he said, don't even get me started on you. Otis, my prized pupil, my number one guy, you have proven yourself beyond a shadow of a doubt to be the biggest disappointment of them all.
Sad Otis.
Man. And he's good at sad.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He's good at most of the stuff he does. Yeah. Otis is a very gifted performer.
I think he's bone on his knees. I was watching. I was watching. I
mean, you can't really have that frame
no,
for very long.
No. Well, he was an Olympic powerlifter,
I think, yeah.
So Chad Gable and Otis did one of the Celtic Warrior workout videos, and Chad Gable's like just doing all the stuff.
Yeah.
And there's parts where Otis is like, I can't do that. My body doesn't work like that anymore. Yeah. I'm bone on bone. Something like that. Back in the ring, Chad Gable says, but this is why you sign up to the Academy, for feedback.
Again, he's like, yeah, it is technically true.
Get on the same page and know from now on we're going to focus on Gable. We're going to win my IC title together, and you're going to help me no matter what. Right? I want to hear you say it together. No matter what.
Bulliest ass thing you could do.
And like they're kind of sheepishly saying it. They all kind of like say, I think the camera didn't catch Tozawa, and it might have caught Maxine, but you see Otis say,
clearly. He's like,
no matter what. And he gets in Otis's face. He says, and Otis says, no matter what. And Gable drops the mic and he leaves. Yeah. Awesome.
It's great.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome storytelling to build this up, because it gives Chad Gable something to do to become an even heelier heel. And then
this was the full ass heel stuff.
But then
not just that he snapped and got angry or whatever. This was like, I'm a prick now.
Yeah.
Made me feel bad for everybody in the ring with him.
And that's what a good heel, like you're something I can relate to, something empathetic, right?
He's great.
And then keep him away from the IC title. And then when he eventually does go fight Sammy, like win or loss.
I think that's a mistake, though. I would have that happen right now. Like, why are we getting distance?
They're healing him up
from that,
because
that was enough. He's a heel now,
but he just lost clean. He just lost clean. So now, like, they're
But it's WWE. It doesn't matter. You can do a rematch immediately. Nobody gives a shit. So, like,
I don't know if they're going to do character work. I'm okay with a little bit of character work.
I love this. Yeah. I just I don't want the distance. I don't want to waste time with Sammy in a program I have no interest in, because I'm gonna have to watch that. Like, I'm gonna be like,
we're getting a lot of those right now across WWE programming. Backstage, we have Ricochet and Dominic Mysterio. Ricochet's bum Dom's not cleared to wrestle, and then he promotes his speed match with JD McDonough, which you have convinced me I will never have to watch. Ricochet walks out, and Dominic Mysterio is standing there, and Liv Morgan walks into frame, giving him doe eyes.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, she's lovely. Also, she is like in a beef mommy now.
Yeah, she is. I love that. I love this pairing.
Yes.
Like, it's great.
She had to say nothing, and we got the entire program right away.
Like, legit chemistry, those two,
Yeah.
like on screen.
Yeah. Dominic Mysterio's wife has to be the most understanding human being walking the planet.
Yeah.
Because he just works with two dimes that are like obsessing over him.
Yeah.
So good for her. Ricochet and Andrade were next, and they were facing JD McDonough and Santos Escobar. This took 11 minutes and 56 seconds.
Was the people on the wrong sides? Because Santos and Ricochet were dressed in identical
I noticed that too. Yeah,
gear.
They did not consult each other. Maybe pack 2 pairs of pants in that to-go bag. This match had no heat at all.
You know what happened here? And it was like, I noticed it at the beginning of the match, and then it continued all the way through. Like, Andrade forgot he was in WWE. He was and it screwed everybody else up too, because he was working at the pace that you would work in, not just one promotion, anywhere outside of WWE. He was working at that pace. So like everybody was like accidentally, dead weighting him and stuff, because he was like moving from one thing to the next way faster than you do in WWE. And people were not like, it was messing up all of their rhythm on everything. He did a couple of dragon screws, and Santos was like, why are we going so fast? Like he fell weird for the second one. Like there was a couple of missed spots, and it was all just because Andrade was like working like he was indie or whatever. Like
I don't hate that for him, because he is vanilla as shit.
Everybody else, like, I want him always to work. I just like that style way better, but like everybody's got to be on board with it and doing it together, because it messed the chemistry of this matchup terribly, because he was flying around doing stuff and nobody was prepared for it, and it was like not in a good way. It was like they weren't ready to hit their spots and stuff.
Well, let's see next week how he course corrects, because that's either on purpose or it was something he tried. Or
I mean, he does have a history of occasionally going into business for himself a little bit, but I want like that pace. It'd be great. I would love to have that Andrade in the WWE. But again, it's got to be something that they discuss beforehand, because it like threw a monkey wrench into this whole match.
Yeah. That's maybe why I didn't enjoy most of it.
I mean, it was disjointed. It was just not. It was not a very good match.
I think it's especially like problematic when you have Ricochet in there and Santos, and you're like, I know these guys are good.
Exactly, but it was like they were not on the same page, so it was throwing them off too. No. It also just it bums me out every time I see Ricochet, because I'm like, I know what you can do. Just haven't seen it for a decade.
He was really hard to place in my draft order. I have my order set, but I'm like, what the fuck do I do with it? There was a couple of guys where I'm just like, all right, am I booking a company or am I playing favorites here? I keep going back and forth.
I mean, I only gave it a cursory glance. I'll dig in more as we draft, but my thought was like, am I booking WWE or am I booking the company that I would book?
Yeah.
Because it's two different things.
Right. Like I said, match had zero heat. Very cool spot where Santos Escobar did a top rope Hurricane Rana to Ricochet.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
And Ricochet lands. So JD McDonough's laying in the ring, and Ricochet flips. So he's been Hurricane Rana'd from the top rope. And the way he flips is he just does a Harlem Hangover.
Yeah,
he just drops a leg
teammates.
drop. Yeah, onto.
But because
JD
Santos
McDonough.
and Ricochet are dressed the same, it made it look like they're the tag team doing that as a finisher, which would be a cool finisher.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, they should
bad.
just be a tag team. Like they
cool
already have the
finisher,
gear, just let them do that, and that could be their move.
That should have been Hulk. If Hulk Hogan was a luchador, that would have been his finisher.
Yeah.
And then the message on JD McDonough for the W. Damian Priest comes out, cleans house. He gets in Dom's face, and he speaks in Spanish.
It's the first back elbow that didn't look great, because
it was like,
he was going way too fast, and Santos was not prepared.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this
missed
again.
him pretty badly. So
seems like it was problematic. But Damian Priest says he doesn't need anybody. They, meaning Dom and JD, need him. So he's distancing himself from the Judgment Day. Whoop-de-doo. Zoe Stark got a hype promo.
I'm happy they're. I mean, I asked for the breakup of the Judgment Day after, and it looks like that's what they're doing. So I'll give it a thumbs up.
I mean, none of them are going to do anything afterwards, which is why I'm kind of bummed about it. Because like they don't.
They'll give Finn something. They just gave him a big contract.
Who? The whole group?
Look at Finn something.
Oh, Finn I'm not worried about. But like the three
and
guys.
Dom is a heat magnet. He's fine. He's going to be fine.
But like on his own?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
He can, dude. Yeah, he's got, like, he doesn't technically do anything great, except he's got a ton of the right kind of charisma, and like he has a connection with the fans. That's all you really need,
right?
In the WWE is that connection. He's got it, and he
That's
does
fair.
Get people to react like he wants them to.
That's fair.
He's going to be fine. Like Damian Priest,
I like him. I want him.
A waste of space.
Correct.
But I'm not worried about what he is going to have because I don't want to watch him on TV. So like.
He should cut promos like those suits with all the it can sense how you're moving and then like there's a character on the screen because he just sounds like I don't know like a Final Fantasy character to me when he talks. Like he should just cut promos.
I said video game character too.
Yeah,
I said he talks like a video game character
and just have that character like move its mouth.
Yeah,
like you know
he should cut promos on TNA.
Yeah. Shoot his blank arrow at that
Ring of Honor that I don't watch.
Put him on Ring of Honor. Zoe Stark got a hype promo next for reasons. Backstage, we have Jackie Redmond.
But by the way, what was the Zoe Stark thing? Like, I thought at the end they were going to be like, and that's why I'm going after such and such.
It was
just like, I'm going to keep it up.
It was a really well-produced hype promo video reminding us she exists.
She won some matches at some point in 2023 or whatever.
It played into this whole episode, not at all.
It was a pacing thing. I'm like, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
What? Why? Why do we have to fire Cameron Grimes?
Yeah. Backstage, Jackie Redmond's with Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, and they start talking about why do these two have to cheat to win? Oh, they're challenging how we win our matches. Fine. They're verbally interrupted by a screaming Liv Morgan and Nia Jax are being pulled apart just to the right of the camera.
Why are the heels like in a blood feud?
Nia and Liv don't like each other.
Yeah, but they're heels.
Because
you just turned Liv heel.
That was pre-WrestleMania.
I know, but you just turned Liv heel.
But
make her do bad stuff to a babyface.
Rhea's not here right now, so
there's other babyfaces in the company.
Well, one walks out, and I think this
who they pay no mind to.
Yeah, and right. And Becky Hogan walks into frame. She asks for the mic, starts walking to the ring. The man has come around. I hate that. I hate the man has come around. No one gets. It's not a phrase. It's not a phrase. It's
the Johnny Cash song, but it's not the same exact words either. So it's when the man comes around.
I'm gonna start walking in here going, "Hey Sully, the Dave has come around," and you're going, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And also,
plus, does anybody know? Besides, I'm an old man. That's why I know it's a Johnny Cash song.
Until you said that right now, I didn't connect those dots. Also, she's not from Tennessee.
Yeah,
she's Irish. Her hair says so.
I'll give her credit. What she does here is a difficult thing to do, and it's live. And
walking
she does
and talking.
Like walking and talking with other elements too. Like she has a person that she has to. I don't like what she said because I'm like, it's your opponent.
Yeah.
Worry about yourself. But just the physical act of what she's doing, the actual nuts and bolts, is a hard thing to do. So walk, talk on camera, live, doing stuff in a certain amount of time.
Right.
So I was like, that's impressive. I didn't like it,
yeah.
but it was still impressive.
The content, not so great. This was this episode because now every episode of WWE has to have the Goodfellas shot where it's just one long uncut shot. It's Becky taking the mic, walking and talking.
Even if they're going to spam this, though, at least it's a good thing to spam rather than what they used to, which was sucky stuff. So this it's cool. I know they're going to overuse it, and then we're going to be tired of it or whatever. But it's still cool. I'd rather get tired of this than the other crap.
This actually involves talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? For multiple people.
Yeah.
While she's doing her long walk, she stops to give Maxine Dupree advice. And my other comment was, "Fuck you, dude. What are you like? You're
that's
not
basically what I said.
You're not likable. That's not a likable thing to do.
No, it's like what Chad Gable would do because he's oblivious, or what Chris Jericho would do because he's on the other channel being
keep your
oblivious,
chin up, rookie. Shut up.
Also, you got a match. Go worry about that.
Yes. And then we had the women's battle royal.
Again, I'm not to harp on it, but that puts under all your opponents too. If you're walking out and you're showing everybody that you care so little about the thing you're about to go do for the world title, like that you have time to just go say keep your chin up, kid, or whatever to somebody that not connected to you whatsoever. It really makes it feel like lesser than the match. It makes the match not feel like a big deal because you're not acting like it's a big deal.
100%. I was trying to find the contenders. We don't need to.
Did we skip a Nia Jax promo?
Did we?
Yeah, I mean, I got a Nia Jax promo.
Oh, let me hear it.
Because I didn't do word for word. I just
Who strikes again?
I said Nia Jax sounds like Nicole Bass, and then because she sounds identical. To Nicole
Yeah.
Bass. I just lost it. Oh no, I'm not. I got it. Never mind. It sounds like Nicole Bass, and she also says, "I'm going to take out everybody in this match one by one by one." And I was like, "Why is one by one? Why are you emphasizing that?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're gonna. It's not more intimidating to take them out one by one.
Yeah,
it would be more intimidating to say I'm going to take them all out at once.
Yeah,
to say taking them out one by one, you're just doing what you fucking do in a battle royal."
2 by 2,
Stupid.
we're marching door to door. God loves Mormons and he wants some more.
Take Nia Jax out of this match that we're about to talk about. Take her out,
Yeah.
put in Bianca Belair. Same position. Yeah. Or
Bianca's got to win then.
flip her,
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler in this match. Flip
You mean
what
the
gets
tag,
done.
The tag team partner of the woman who got a hype video literally before the match started?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Stick her exactly what Nia did in this match.
Yeah.
Give to Shayna and give Nia what Shayna did. This match is 10 times better immediately.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
She's not a strong person. She's portraying a powerhouse, and she is weak. She is physically weak.
Yeah.
She can't do moves.
No, I noticed that when she was. So I didn't. I heard who won before I watched, and I was disgusted, so I didn't watch the match. But I saw parts of the match. Nia Jax tried to lift up Piper Niven in a fireman's carry, and you realize really quickly there's not much strength.
Fucks up
there.
3 fireman's carries. She screws up 2 Samoan drops. That's one of her signature moves, and she can't do the move because she's not strong enough. You're trying to tell me that she's a powerhouse. That's her whole thing. Is she's supposed to be overpowering everybody? You got her in there with Shayna Baszler, who's very clearly much stronger than her.
Right.
It takes me completely out of everything you're doing when you're trying to tell me that this woman who clearly struggles to do basic stuff is stronger than all these other competitors that I'm seeing do super impressive, athletic, powerful.
Really
things.
quickly, Shayna Baszler was in the match.
Yeah, I'm saying take what Nia overpowered her and threw her out. Take what they did in the match, swap it because Nia was in the final 3 and was looked like she was going to win for a long time.
Yeah.
Put Shayna there. Just have Shayna do that. It's 10 times more believable.
Yeah. I'm trying to find all the participants, but it's being.
She did a Samoan drop thing where she bounced somebody off a ring post where she lost control of the person before she let go of them, and then they ragdolled into the post, and it looked like that was the one thing that looked kind of impressive or painful was because it was super reckless. It was because she lost control because she's not strong enough to do the move.
It was glaring how maybe we don't make her the big powerhouse if she can't.
Especially when you got Shayna Baszler right next to her, who is legitimately powerful. Did you get the finish of this?
Of what do you mean the finish?
Did you watch the finish of the match?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't watch the match.
No, I didn't watch the whole thing.
No, neither did I. Fast forward through half of it.
I'm just trying to find who the fuck was in the match, and it's really problematic. No one has a list for some reason.
And the only ones that mattered are Nia, Liv, and Becky because they were the last third or half of the match was just those 3 anyway.
Yeah, I want to. Oh wait, I think I got it. Bear with me, folks. Women's World. No, I did not get it. All right, whatever. Yeah, I think unfortunately the right move.
Yeah, no, I think it's the right move.
I don't want her on TV anymore.
Me neither, really, but people like her.
I don't care.
She still is over.
I don't care. This is the Bryan Danielson argument. I don't care what everybody else likes. I want to like things the way I like them.
That's my constant argument. When I'm people are like, you need to be more blatant about your storytelling at AEW. Oh, can't have all these banger matches because you're giving them away.
That's not what I sound like.
That's what people say. And I say, I don't give a fuck what there's going to pop a rating. I give a fuck what I enjoy watching on TV. And what I enjoy watching on TV is what they are currently doing. Keep doing it.
You can hear this full conversation on the AEW edition of Blue Thunder Pod.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
But
you could also hear how Sully's impression of me is not as good as his.
He doesn't have a gravelly British voice, or
maybe if my last name was Canyon.
You're gravelly. Who's better than Canyon? You're saying it wrong. Why do you always say it wrong?
Yeah, Becky won. Becky's champ.
I got the notes about the finish of this stupid thing too. I hate battle royals for championships. There was one good one ever, and we watched it, reviewed it. Turnbuckle Time Machine. You go check it out. Royal Rumble '92 was awesome. It's the only good one ever.
Yeah.
So the big this big extended spot they did for the finish of the match was both women were on the apron, and they were teasing who's going to get knocked off of the apron.
Right.
Liv went over the top to get to the apron. She then pulled Becky through the middle ropes, and then they're going back and forth. Makes Liv look an idiot because it didn't matter if she knocked Becky off because she didn't go over the top.
Correct.
She knows she didn't go over the top because she's the one that pulled her through the ropes.
Right.
But she's behaving like if I knock her off, I'm going to win.
Right.
Makes her look stupid. I hated it so much.
I'm really glad I fast forwarded because all I saw was the Oblivion and then the manhandle slam.
Yeah. It was so dumb. And people are like, the announcers are calling it like, oh, which one of these women? Becky's going for a German suplex off. And that bothered me too. Cole's like, Becky's going for a German. I'm like, don't call it a German like you're hip when you don't know the name of a single other suplex. But like, Becky's going for a German. That's really risky for her. No, it's not, you stupid shit. If she does the German, she wins. Even if her feet touch the floor, because we all just watched her come through the middle rope. Why do these things not matter? They should matter.
Details matter.
Yeah, that's like not even a small detail.
No,
that's a big goddamn detail.
Massive storyline.
It was right. It wasn't like they didn't quite catch it on camera or anything either. It was like center frame pulls her through the middle ropes.
Yeah.
And all the dummies on commentary don't notice it, and it didn't matter evidently because the way they worked the whole end of the match was as if Becky was in peril somehow.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
I do think it was the right call, putting the belt on her, though, because I think Liv's going to chase her and win, and it'll be a bigger deal. Shouldn't be in a battle royal.
That was the big gripe I saw in the IWC, that Liv should have won.
Yeah, they were wrong.
They're very wrong.
There were plenty of things to complain about. That wasn't the thing. No.
Surprised Zoe Stark didn't have much more of a...
after the high package.
Didn't Natalya
absolutely unnecessary high package.
Natalya was shown stretching in the back. Like they kind of like singularly profiled a couple people.
Yeah, some of them in the middle of other people's matches. They went profiled.
But they had zero play.
Nothing for the first anybody but those three.
No.
And Nia Jax then made it. You shine the light on her because there's only the final three. It looked like for a while she was going to win the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So we get the extra spotlight on all of her like moves that she can't accomplish because she's not physically strong enough to do any of them.
I think that's going to be the first challenger.
Nia Jax. I do too. With her promo, that was her promo. That was the point of the promo. I'm coming after the world title.
Nia Jax.
Super. Can you learn how to wrestle first before you do come after the world title? Maybe learn a couple basic moves so you don't hurt somebody.
Absolutely not. You good?
I hate nepotism bullshit. And she's like The Rock's cousin or whatever.
Yeah.
The only reason she's there.
Right.
Only. There's just zero. It brings zero.
She's the big,
she's big.
unbeatable heel.
You got to be strong too if you're going to be the big person.
She's strong of heart and mind.
She's not, I don't know about either one of those. Not strong enough to learn how to do wrestling moves.
It was glaring.
Like basic ones.
Like make Piper Niven the big bad.
Yeah.
She can actually
any of the other women that were in this match.
But like if you want like a big like intimidating.
She's super strong.
And she's super good.
Yeah, she's excellent in the ring, but also like just has the physical capability to do the
Which
beast
we've seen
thing.
time and time again.
Yeah.
That was raw.
Yeah, it was.
That was raw. One thing that they announced on the show that we kind of touched on a couple of times is the draft is back. The draft will start tonight. If you're listening to this the day we dropped the podcast, and so it's going to be over the course of tonight's SmackDown and Monday Night Raw this coming Monday.
I like the way they're doing this.
Yes, SmackDown's going to have 4 rounds with 16 total picks, and it has its own individual pool that you can pick from on Friday. So it's not just SmackDown people or just Raw people. Like they have just a dedicated small group of people that you could pick tonight on SmackDown. On Raw, there will be 6 rounds, 24 total picks, and that will be another group of people. And the 2 groups do not overlap. So never did it this way before. Love it. Champions are protected on each brand, except the women's tag team champions. They are eligible, and they're also grouped together.
That title doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Because there's no one to fight them.
Yeah, they're great. I should clarify. They're great,
and they will be
the worst division in wrestling.
Tough, and it's about to be. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are about to be injected in it. But the reason I'm assuming that they're available is because in the draft, it's not individual wrestlers. Like, they have grouped factions together. So I have
a question for that, though, Dave.
Yeah.
The Bloodline, is it with Roman?
Yeah, he's in the Bloodline.
So it's all.
He's tribal chief.
It's Roman, Solo, Paul Heyman. Tama.
Jimmy Uso? Was he kicked out?
Is he officially kicked out? I don't know. They beat the crap out of him.
I didn't see his name anywhere else. But
maybe they killed him. He wasn't on the show this week.
Might have killed him. Check your ravines for. Just start going around. And go, oos.
Yeah, like everybody's going to respond because, as we discussed, they just turned that into a regular word everybody uses now.
I went to. That's like. I remember going to a concert, the Q101 Jamboree, which was an outdoor festival in Chicago for a local radio station, Q101.
Back when they used to do music festivals.
Yeah, and the band Goldfinger was playing in the parking lot.
I love Goldfinger.
And they had a song called "Counting the Days."
Yeah, they sure did.
Where it's the lyric is still counting the days. I've been without you 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, my friends and I were fairly certain we were going to get separated during this part of the show, so we agreed. Hey, if we lose each other, when they do the 1, 2, 3, 4. Just put your hand up and count with it. You would not believe how my stomach dropped.
When we were going to find each other, when Jey Uso starts putting his hands up in the air, we'll just put our hands up in the air. We'll be able to see each other.
My stomach dropped with horror that everybody else's friends said, hey, if you get lost, count to 1, 2, 3. I was the dumbest kid. But anyway, SmackDown picks first on Friday, Raw picks first on Monday, and then the rosters are locked on May 6th, which I believe is the following week. So,
remains to be seen whether they're locked or they're WWE locked, which means
we'll see.
They just go wherever they want.
So we're going to do the draft. We're going to do SmackDown first. Oh, we said we're going to flip a coin to see who is who. So I'm going to do.
I thought we had already decided that because it's a British guy.
You're right. You're Nick. So you get the first.
Although I don't really do a Nick Aldis impersonation, so we could flip a coin.
That's okay. So Sully gets the first pick.
Are we doing SmackDown first?
We're going to do SmackDown first.
Okay.
If really quickly, if you would like to watch along, I don't know, just Google Google who's in the draft.
I'll read them off. So the eligible.
Oh, I have them if you want them. You got them?
I got them right here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the eligible draft picks from the SmackDown roster, which we'll be doing first: AJ Styles, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn, Alpha Academy, because it's entire factions. Andrade, Bianca Belair, Braun Breaker, Cedric the Entertainer, and
grown ass man.
Who is his partner?
Ashanti the Adonis.
The Adonis. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not familiar. I don't think.
NXT.
Ivar, Jey Uso, L.A. Liv Morgan, Nia Jax. No, thank you. Can she be relegated? Can we do that on a draft? Randy Orton.
Put on a waiver.
Ricochet, Seth Rollins, future endeavored. Shayna Baszler, Sheamus, Fat Sheamus, the Bloodline, the OC, and Zoe Stark.
Yep.
And then shall I do the Raw rundown now, or?
Might as well.
So, yeah, available for Raw, Apollo Crews, Braun Strowman. Where's Braun Strowman been? Bronson, not Otis Reed, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell, who for some reason are on my television every week. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, CM Punk. Oh, Dave's got the first pick on Raw. The Creed Brothers, Damage Guitarro, Drew McIntyre, Final Testament, Giovanni Vinci, Imperium, which I guess, now is just the two. Jade Cargill, but they're separated, huh?
Yep.
Bianca and Jade.
Yep.
I think it's just going to draft them together, probably. Fucking Judgment Day. Caden Carter and Katana Chance, whose names I forget immediately after I say them every time because they are...
Katana Carter?
No,
Caden Chance?
Yeah.
Caden Chance.
May
You
as
called
well
her
be.
Caden Chance.
I said Cross,
Caden
which is
Cross.
neither one of them. So.
Whatever happened to Nikki Cross? Remember her?
Oh yeah, she's great too.
Yeah.
What did happen to her?
Fuck if I know. I think she was going back to school or something.
She just got her doctorate, I thought.
Oh,
like I think she achieved it while wrestling.
Maybe she'll be in the draft.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
But because
Yeah.
we're reading who's
We are
available
reading
right now.
the only thing that's not in the list I sent you is it says and some NXT superstars.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
very because like Dragunov's coming.
Yeah.
And what's her face? The
Well, I want to draft Dragunov.
you can't. He's not on the list.
Kevin Owens is though.
Kevin Owens is
Legado del Fantasma, the LWO, and Naomi.
All right, you have the first pick. So
From the SmackDown,
we're doing
the
We're
SmackDown.
doing the entire SmackDown first. and
Yeah,
then okay.
I mean, obviously, I'm taking the Bloodline.
Yeah.
And they're my favorite. Just it's you can't have the Bloodline there and not take them.
Right.
Like, it's the Bloodline.
I unfortunately have to take Seth Rollins.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
So I take it you're drafting from the perspective of the company.
I'm booking a company.
more than yourself.
I'm booking.
Well, a company. You're booking their company. Because I think even if you read a company, Seth Rollins would not be your
I hate him, but
top dude.
He's there.
Yeah. Bianca Belair.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Of course.
I am taking Braun Breaker
That was it would have been my third.
because he is the future.
Yeah. I am going to go with the newly very over as a heel faction, Alpha Academy.
I am taking Liv Morgan.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah. We're pretty much like
on fire right
we're
now.
right in alignment with each other.
It gets a little more dicey right now, though. Oh,
There
still
is
got
a-
AJ.
There is a steep drop off in both of these lists.
AJ Styles.
Damn it.
But yeah, now there's a drop off.
Coming over to
You got to be UC, right?
Oh, yeah, it's
You gotta be UC.
That's right. The Eat Master. I pick Jay Uso.
He's too over to not.
Yeah.
And speaking of too over to not, despite kind of sucking, I'll take LA Knight.
Ooh. Now we're having some division here. I'm
Well,
taking
That's just. It's not even my own personal. She's just super over.
I'm taking Randy Orton.
If you have a tag partner for him, I would have been happy to take him, but I'm not interested in Randall Keith by himself. Thank you. I think now I can get into just my own personal, who I would book in what way.
We are 10 picks down, 10 to go. So it's going to get a little dicey.
I am going to take...
Or 5 picks down each. But
Do I want... I'm going to take Shayna. I'm a big fan of Shayna Baszler.
Shayna. All right. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I know that's a... People consider it a reach, but it's only because they've booked her terribly, and when they book her right, she's fantastic.
I'm taking Ricochet.
I like Ricochet a lot. I will be going with Andrade. Del Idolo.
This is going to make you laugh.
Even though he's not Idolo now.
I'm not like most girls. I'm taking Nia Jax.
For what? She going to be set up your ring for you or something?
Fodder.
She can't do that either.
Fodder.
They got NXT people to be fodder. She's too dangerous a worker to be a enhancement talent.
You don't got to worry about her because she's on my program now.
Thank you, God. I'm gonna hope that you're right about this gentleman, and that it's a shameful thing that Lobster Head it just came back a little too early, and I'm gonna take Sheamus.
Oh, I'm going out of order here. I think. I'm gonna go with. No, I'm not. Oh shit. Only because he has NXT to his name. I'm gonna go with Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis.
Okay. They're much like at least what I said. I don't know the other guy too much, but much like Shayna, I think if booked correctly, or properly,
they got a new guy. Like they could not have shit the bed harder with Cedric Alexander.
Yeah,
but I got high hopes for.
He's really great though.
He's
Cedric.
Great.
Unreasonably
good.
Do I want Ivar?
We got 4 picks left.
Dark. The OC's just the two of them right now.
Yeah.
Those guys don't want to work. I'll make I'm gonna make my show a pretty strong women's division. I'll go with Zoe Stark. They sold me with her unnecessary hype video. I like Ivar, but I like him on a tag team.
I would also like multiple picks, so I will have the OC because I need gatekeepers on my show.
Well, I'm gonna take Ivar now because I don't want Elba Fire and Isla Dawn.
All right. So let's look at our roster so far.
Let's.
So on Sully's show, we have the Bloodline, Bianca Belair.
I win.
Oh man, the Bloodline, Bianca Belair, Alpha Academy, AJ Styles, LA Knight, Shayna Baszler, Andrade, Sheamus, Zoe Stark, and Ivar. You have a let's beat the shit out of each other every week roster. Wow.
That's a fun show.
That's
I'm
not bad. That's not bad. I have Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Liv Morgan, Jey Uso, Randy Orton, Ricochet, Nia Jax, Cedric Alexander, and Ashante the Adonis, the OC, and Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. Do you notice something here?
Sunday Night Heat?
I have picked a WWE roster, and you have picked an AEW roster.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I do have the bloodline. I mean, like...
You can't. It's like not taking Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And I also have LA Knight.
you did, yeah. You begrudging,
So,
but
but-
you like back to back. You have AJ Styles and LA Knight.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yes, it is.
All right. So I have the first pick on Raw.
You go first on Raw.
I mean, this is a
Come on.
goddamn no-brainer.
Right?
Look in my eyes. What do you see? He is the pick that goes to me. CM Punk
And it
is my
should
first pick.
Be a big surprise that I'm going to go with Kevin Owens.
Oh.
He's my favorite wrestler in the company. I'm not going to not pick him.
Not bad. I'm really glad you did that. So my second pick, Imperium.
Good call.
Yeah.
I'm whatever on half of Imperium, but the other half
I got
is
Gunther. That's
the
all
best
I care
wrestler
about.
in the company. So, yeah. Candice LeRae and Indy. I'm kidding. No.
Ah. They're way down there, brothers.
Or I do want to just draft like it's AEW. I'm looking at like it's an NFL draft, which is just what you would do for Drew.
Drew, yes. So Drew McIntyre
He
goes
can
to
do anything.
Sully
So-
Night Heat.
Owens and Drew, come on! It's my first program.
I'm taking all of Damage Control.
But it's Damage Control without Bailey.
It's the best tag team in the company, and
Yeah, that's true.
have, actually all four of them are fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's true. I do like them all.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good call. As much as I want to go in a different direction here, I can't deny the popularity of the fucking Judgment Day.
I have them so far down.
Really?
Oh yeah.
They're like most overheel probably in the whole company.
I don't like. Yeah, but they're
The best woman?
Oh fuck! I forgot about her because she's injured.
That's like when the Vikings forgot to put their pick in and
Yeah.
the other team got to jump them.
Damn it!
Truth, Dave?
Yeah.
I just thought of that right now, too. Like, I didn't remember either that she's part of the Judgment
Yeah.
Day. I got her.
That would have been way
I got
higher
Rhea
for
Ripley. That should have been the number one overall pick on this
damn it.
this half. I win.
Well, since I'm booking a WWE company, I might as well. No, that'll be there. I just because I want Rey Mysterio, I'm gonna go the LWO.
Creed Brothers.
Damn it!
I'm winning the GM challenge here, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree.
I mean, like, by accident. I got Rhea Ripley by accident.
By accident. Oh. So then I'm going to take. Well, do I have a good tag division right now? No. I got a lot of singles. I got a really strong singles. I guess we're gonna do. I don't want this fucker. No. Oh, let me see the drop off.
Yeah.
I have a lot of ladies, though, so I'm going to go Chelsea Green and Piper Niven.
Chelsea. That's probably my pick. I don't want not Otis. I do really like the Authors of Pain, though. Yeah, I'm going to go Final Testament.
God
I like
damn
Authors
it.
of Pain. And Karrion Kross is, like we talked about, he's got everything but the ring. And you don't really need the ring. So
Really quickly, I just noticed, and I made this, so I texted this to you. I should notice. Giovanni Vinci is by himself.
by himself, yeah.
So I just selected the two guys.
I said it. I'm like,
fine
oh,
with
you
that.
get the two. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you really were selecting
Yeah,
one.
Gunther. It was just
like,
Gunther by a different name. Let's do.
I'm bummed out that Kevin Owens and CM Punk are going to be on different shows now.
Well, you got greedy.
I can't remember my first pick.
Uh,
Judgment Day would have been my first pick had my brain been working properly, though.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that. All right, I got a lot of ladies. I don't have a good tag division. I'm going to. I have Gatekeeper tag teams. I have some tag teams. Do I have? Oh,
I think you want some Caden Carter and Katana Chance. Right? You want some of that in your life. They go out in the club. They party. I know that they do because they tell me that every week on TV when I have to watch them.
Coming up? They're done. They're dead in the water. They're dead in the water. They're done. Fuck it.
Candice LeRae.
Jade Cargill.
Nah. I was gonna do.
I had her way higher, but I'm like, I don't think Sully's gonna take her ever.
I'm booking AEW, so I'm like,
Well, here you go. I mean, if you're booking AEW, you got obvious choices here.
yeah, I'm not really booking AEW, but I am gonna take. Man, I kind of like Candice LeRae. I'm gonna break that tag team up. I think.
You think so?
I think I want Candice LeRae.
And Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, it was cheap. I mean, sure. It's like when. She's going to be designated for assignment immediately, but it's for Candice LeRae. Yeah.
Sometimes when you go out to eat, they give you multiple dipping sauces, and you're like, I just want the honey mustard.
Exactly.
I'm thinking specifically of chicken wings. Like, why did you bring barbecue? It was wasted.
It's a waste of barbecue.
Indy Hartwell's the barbecue. I thought for sure you were going a different route with that. So I have ladies. I need more ladies. I would like ladies. Are there more ladies available? I don't want you. You're so slow.
There are. Caden Carter and Katana Chance are right there for you, Dave. Right there.
They're not even at the bottom of my list. Oh, what am I doing? No?
Naomi, because you hate Naomi.
Hey, I need tags. DIY.
I don't have DIY on my list.
They're on your list. Are they not? The one I texted you?
No.
Oh,
I just copied and pasted it.
let me double check. I can remove them.
No, I wouldn't. I think I would have taken.
Yeah,
I probably would have taken them with the last pick, but
they're right there.
how the hell did I do this?
Raw
then?
DIY.
Oh, because they're hashtag. They're hashtag DIY. So I'm like, they're not. I just see the D. Yeah. All right.
You wish you see the D.
I see the D anytime I want to see the D, Dave.
That's right.
D, Dave. Oh man.
So just if you're keeping up, what we have left is Bronson Reed, Legado del Fantasma, Giovanni Vinci, Naomi, Caden Carter, and Katana Chance, Apollo Crews, and Braun Strowman.
Yeah, that sure is who's left. Legato?
Yeah. It's like a consolation prize at this point. Did you take Ivar? I think you did.
I did.
Just,
I'm very happy with my SmackDown side.
I'll take Naomi.
Yeah. Probably right. Apollo, because I'll book him better than these assholes have.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to take Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Vinci.
So it is a Sophie's choice here. Do you want
the two separate acts that we both have gone on like while doing reviews the last 2 weeks?
Bronson Reed or Caden Carter and Katana Chance? I tell you what, I've been leaning for the ladies here. I'm going to take the ladies. Mostly because I want him on your show.
He is going to. I'm going to book him as
cannon fodder.
Drew McIntyre's new chauffeur.
Oh man! All right, so we are going to list. Do you post stuff like this on the site?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to start this week with my star rating, so I can put this up too.
Yeah. So just as a quick rundown, we're going to go. Actually. We're going to put this in a simulator, and we're going to have it rank.
I have Bloodline and the Judgment Day.
Yeah. Rank these two. From best to worst. Let's see how AI does this. Oh wait, no. Do not combine the lists.
Like my first week, I'm gonna open the show with Rhea Ripley coming out to challenge.
What's it doing here? No.
And then we'll do a Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens bit. A little back and forth action.
Oh, you're booking
like a
already.
backstage back and forth.
Oh, I see what it did. We don't have to do that because I don't want to waste more time with this. So, I'm going to go first just because I think you did. Well, we'll see. So, on my show, we have Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Liv Morgan,
Love Braun. Love
Jay
Liv.
Uso, Randy Orton, Ricochet, Nia Jax, Cedric Alexander, and Ashante the Adonis. The OC, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. They can feud with Kaden Carter and Katana Chance all day.
Sure can.
They can also feud with CM Punk, Gunther. I'm not even counting the other guy.
Who's talking to CM Punk? Who's he having a back and forth with?
Who do I got? Oh, that's okay. I have Seth Rollins, son of a bitch. I got nobody. Jay Uso, Randy Orton, no. No.
And you're
Gunther. Gunther. He's talking to Gunther.
Okay.
They're gonna eat each other. Rey Mysterio. Tommaso Ciampa. Oh wow. Yeah, you
think they're flipping over to Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre, chopping it up,
or Kevin Owens and
Rhea Ripley like tearing down the bloodline? How about that?
I like the confidence you have now that you realize you accidentally got Rhea Ripley. Anyway, CM Punk, Gunther, Damage Control.
Don't tell me how you got there. Tell me what you got.
The LWO, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, Jade Cargill, DIY Naomi, Braun Strowman, and Kaden Carter and Katana Chance.
I have.
That's all he has. The Bloodline.
The Bloodline. The Judgment Day featuring Rhea Ripley. Kevin Owens. Shayna Baszler, Sheamus, Zoe Stark. L.A. Knight. Ivar, Bianca Belair. Andrade Del Hilo, who I will be partnering with Ivar, I think, in a tag team because they both need tag partners. Alpha Academy with freshly minted incredible heel Chad Gable. Another reason why I kind of have to keep what's his face Bronson Reed off of the regular television program because I got Otis. AJ Styles.
Oh, you could have a dark versus light feud.
Apollo Crews. The two differently skinned same guys.
Yeah.
Creed Brothers are that's a pretty good team. That's a pretty good team.
Pretty good if you got that one.
Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. They're getting broken up. Indy's going to be a manager, I think. Final Testaments. Maybe the Creed Brothers and Authors of Pain. I'll start with that feud right off the bat. Giovanni Vinci. I'll do something with him. I don't know quite what yet. And Legado del Fantasma. I'm happy with the way this turned out, Dave.
I have more work to do than you do.
You got to book well. Everybody on your roster is very talented. I got an easy start though. I got a lot of people that are super over.
You're
already built-in successes.
So the Bloodline's about 6 guys. Alpha Academy's 4.
I have Roman Reigns, Dave. I got Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman. Maybe I'll have Paul Heyman and Kevin Owens chop it up to start a program.
This did not. I thought as we're picking, this is going completely in my favor.
Sounds like me every fantasy football draft. This is going great. How the hell did I end up with this?
I think I got decimated. Oh.
I try to be positive about everybody, but
God.
I do feel like I won this.
Pretty
this
goddamn lopsided for sure.
I mean, really, us forgetting that the Judgment Day had the most over maybe performer in the whole company in it, worked out in my favor.
Yeah, it's great. You got Bronson Reed. You lose.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the actual WWE draft, and please check back again next week if you haven't already. Go check out the AEW. It was a pretty interesting Dynamite. It was a pretty solid show. You guys check it out. Dropping the same time as this one. As always, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.